The 1978 World Hockey Championship from Prague, Czechoslovakia, featuring teams from the Soviet Union, West and East Germany, Sweden, Finland, Czechoslovakia, the United States, and Canada. Brought to you by Carling O'Keefe Breweries, brewers of Highlight and Colt 45, and by General Motors of Canada Limited.
This is Team Canada versus Sweden from Prague. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a mighty important hockey game, one that Canada must win to keep her gold medal opportunities alive. So it's very big, and this is World Hockey Championship on CTV.
You're a kind of beer, you're a great tasting beer. Say O-V when the gang is all here. You're the beer we praise, the one we raise when good fun and good friends are near. You're our frosty mug, you're our little brown jug. It's O-V for you and me. Just say O-V for a fresh kind of pleasure. O-V and you're our kind of beer. You're our kind of beer, you're a great tasting beer. Say O-V when the gang is all here. You're the beer we praise, the one we raise, when good fun and good friends are near. You're a frosty mug, you're a little brown jug. It's O-V for you and me. Just say O-V for a fresh kind of pleasure. O-V and you just say O-V.
Well, let me tell you, we had a true international gem just a few moments ago. The game that was completed was Czechoslovakia defeating the Soviet Union 6-4. This is always a great highlight, of course, but it means now that the Czechs are in the front seat as far as taking a gold medal is concerned. It was quite a game. We'll talk about it later, show you some of the highlights, but now let's go up to our international veteran team of play-by-play man Bernie Pascal and the hockey expert Tom Watt.
Thank you, Bill. The two teams have made their appearance on the ice. Sweden and Team Canada lining up now at their respective blue lines. And we'll have the playing of the theme and the salute of the 1978 World Hockey Championship. Team Canada defending the end to our right, and Sweden already in position defending the end to our left. And the championship theme and the salute here in Prague. So this is the World Hockey Championship on CTV.
Up here where men are mining electricity, the new goal of an energy-short world. Toughness is a way of life. Here at the James Bay Hydroelectric Project, on a new frontier 2/3 of the way up James Bay. Here, where it can get so cold, the air in the skating rink has to be heated to keep the ice from cracking. 55 below. Here, where roads are built for heavy equipment and severely exercise the suspension and frames of light-duty service vehicles. Here, where toughness is the measure of a man and his equipment. This is where Chevrolet is proving again beyond doubt. Chevrolet trucks are built to stay tough. Make sure your truck is Chevrolet tough.
And welcome back to Prague, Czechoslovakia. Sweden against Team Canada. The referee for this game is Ken Pierce of the United States. the two linesmen, Smirnov of Soviet Union and Van Hanen of Finland. Ready to go now for this game. Team Canada in red. Referee Pierce checking with the goal judges. And at center for Team Canada, taking the puck in was Gary Unger. Knocked away from him, back at the line. And we have a face-off as Brazer knocked the puck down, and we'll have the face-off this time just inside the Swedish blue line. Brazer at center. The assistant captain of Sweden. He, of course, plays for the Minnesota North Stars of the NHL. Puck cleared right back in behind the Swedish goal. Earlier today in the championship, Czechoslovakia defeated the Soviet Union by a score of 6-4. Up over the line, the puck is knocked off Albert's stick momentarily, goes into the corner. After it is Pat Ribble, he's checked. Rolling puck in front, and Gary Unger, number 7 of Canada, can't get it out. Sweden keeps it in. Here's a chance in front. Brazer got a weak shot away, gets it again, takes a heavy check against the boards, and Unger covers up. No score in the opening 30 seconds of this game. Unger deflects it in. And we have another whistle.
Well, here we have Shan just throwing it from inside his blue line across the second line. Team Canada called for a two-line pass, and the faceoff comes back inside their own blue line.
While Lundholm comes out there now with Edberg and Anderson for Sweden. Edberg, number 15, will take the faceoff. And he moves into that face-off position against Sharpley of Team Canada. And it rolls right to Rick Hampton. Hampton, a pass to Picard. Picard's long shot. And it just missed the net. A race for it in the corner. After it is Sharpley, he's taken against the boards. Picard's shot. And it's knocked down in front and cleared over to the far side. Kent-Eric Anderson had it momentarily. A penalty coming up here. And it'll be against Sweden. Interference call. This is the World Hockey Championship on CTV.
Good fun and good friends are near. You're a frosty mug, you're a little brown jug. It's OV for you and me. Just OV, OV, fresh kind of pleasure, Oviana, you just say OV.
Call to Lindgren of Sweden at 1:08 of this opening period. Back to the live action. The puck knocked against the board. Dennis Kearns goes in after it. Along with Pat Hickey, it's knocked loose. Team Canada keeping it in there, but it's finally slapped out to center. Going after it there is Roland Eriksson, number 12. He lost it. Canada back on the attack, and over the line went Dennis Maruk, but he just failed to reach that pass. Kearns gives it to Maruk. Maruk, a pass on the right side to Pronovo. Over the line to Marcel Dion, but Hickey was offside on left wing. This telecast is presented solely for the interest of our viewers, under copyright of Arthur Harnett Enterprises Limited. Any use of this telecast without express written consent is strictly prohibited. We've played 1 minute and 42 seconds in the opening period. There's no score, and Sweden is a man short. Kearns over to Marcel Dion, who's on the opposite point. Trying to feed that pass ahead to Pronovo, was knocked down, and Swedish national team comes up with it. Dumping it back inside their own blue line. Salming slaps it off the boards and back into Team Canada's own. Dennis Herron in goal for Canada. Marcel Dion, a lead pass to Dennis Maruk. Maruk on the right side to Pronovo. In over the line and goes in behind the net. Pronovo drops it there for Maruk. Pronovo bumped into the Swedish player. Puck comes back to Kearns. Kearns into the corner to Maruk. Dennis Maruk right in front, and it's intercepted and slapped down the ice, and we have 41 seconds remaining in the penalty to Lindgren of Sweden. And both teams use this opportunity to change. Kearns comes out for Team Canada. Pass on the right side, knocked away from Paymont. Into the corner, he's checked by Stig Osling. The puck goes loose. Pass in front, Lieber scores. Don Lieber. And it's 1-0, a power play goal for Canada.
Well, this is what Team Canada has to do. Paymont controlled the puck in the corner, just stayed with the puck as long as he possibly could, slipped it to Sharpley. Here we see the play beginning from Dennis Kearns ahead to Paymont. Paymont makes the move, stays with the puck. Here he's being jostled by Osling in the corner, stays with it, keeps possession, pushes it ahead. Sharpley picks it up. Here's Lever moving in late, isn't picked up. An easy goal for Don Lever, Team Canada's first power play goal. Here we see Paymont, or Sharpley again, throwing it in front. Lever completing the play from in front of the net.
1-0 for Team Canada. The time of the goal, 2 minutes and 45 seconds of the opening period, a power play goal. Anderson, number 23, dropped it back. Sweden comes back on the attack. Anderson was bumped at center ice. The puck rolls over now to Lundholm, and he couldn't get control of it as the puck is knocked out to Rick Hampton. And Team Canada just fires it in, and it goes into the corner. Paymont has it for Canada. Tries to drop it back. Comes into the corner. Sharpley gets it out to Hampton. His weak backhand shot was knocked down. Rolls into the corner. He's after it. A pass in front. And a loose puck just failed to find the target. Back comes Sweden. Up on the right side of the center is Anderson, and on goal, his shot. And Dennis Herron gloves that, but it was offside at the Canadian blue line.
Well, Anderson made a quick little move at the Canadian blue line. Here we see deep in his own zone, he gets a little speed, pushes it ahead. Here we see the commitment at the line, just on the right outside of your picture. The Swedish player goes in ahead of Anderson, who had made a good move at the blue line.
And Sweden into this game. They've won 4 and lost 1. Their loss was to the Soviet Union, 6-1. Team Canada in their 5 games have won 3 and lost 2. And very much in contention for medals here at the World Championship. They lead this game 1-0. The puck rolls over the red line, and it's icing against Canada. As we look at Pat Hickey, number 6, a 40-goal scorer this past season with the New York Rangers, and the former New York Ranger great, now the general manager of Cleveland, Harry Howell. Face off to the left of Dennis Herron. Number 24 is Gradin for Sweden. He lost it. Tornavo tries to get out. Swings around from the Swedish player. The puck goes loose, and into the corner after it goes Guy Charon. Hardy Astrom gets there first, the Swedish goaltender. Kearns keeps it in at the line, but can't get it out. Here's a breakaway for Sweden coming over the line. Gradin in on goal, and he's robbed by Dennis Herron. A 2-man breakaway, and Gradin is robbed by Dennis Herron.
Well, Dennis Herron waited there for the Swedish player to... There we see Hans Virus Lindberg, but here we see the 2-man breakaway. Little push ahead. Right in, keeping the puck. Holding. Herron stays with him, makes the glove save.
Well, in the loss earlier to Czechoslovakia, the goaltending was superb, and that was the performance of Dan Bouchard. And now Dennis Herron in this game comes up big in the early going, with Canada leading 1-0 on a goal by Don Lever at 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Right from the draw, it goes back to Pat Ribble. He goes in behind his own net for Canada. Puck rolls ahead. Mike Murphy tried to get it out. The puck rolls to the Swedish line, and going after it is Roland Eriksson, number 12. Shot it right to Pat Ribble. Here comes Ribble of Canada. Pass over the line. Here's Unger. And it's offside at the Swedish blue line.
Well, this is what Team Canada wants to get in a hockey game like this. They were kept off the score sheet in the game with Czechoslovakia completely, and to get the early goal and then have your goaltender come up with a big stop like that, that's what gives a hockey club a lift early in the game.
Dennis Herron, the National Hockey League goaltender for the Pittsburgh Penguins, has played 2 games in this tournament, has given up just 4 goals. Canada leading 1-0. Ribble, number 3, takes a long shot. That missed the net. In there after quickly was Bobby McMillan, but he couldn't get it for Canada. Astrom leaves it, but the Team Canada player McMillan had it momentarily. And the Swedish team having trouble getting out. Ribble lets it go. It hit McMillan. Rolls ahead to Lundberg. Up on the left side, Swedish on the attack, and there's a shot. Herron kicks that out. And it comes to Salming at center. Salming of Sweden dumps it to an open wing. There for Canada is David Shand. And Canada comes back again up to the Swedish line and over. Swings around. Paymont trying to set it up. There's a shot to the far side, and Paymont gets a slap at it right in front. And Salming clears it up on right wing. Sweden over the line with Eriksson. Eriksson takes it into the corner. A pass back to the line. Stolen by Don Lever. Here comes Lever. In with Sharpley. Sharpley failed to just get hold of that pass. Dumps it in front. Comes back to the line. Hampton lets it go. And it's deflected and just goes wide. Puck goes into the corner. Eriksson trying to get a face-off, and he succeeds. Held there by Paymont. This is the World Hockey Championship on CTV.
He's got it like Pontiac's got it.
No wonder the sales success of full-size Pontiac continues. Compare this luxurious Parisienne for integrity, quality, and distinction. Try to equal Parisienne's blend of grace and creature comforts, all at a Pontiac price.
You got it, Pontiac.
Nobody's got it like Pontiac. Pontiac's got it.
We played 5 minutes and 39 seconds in the opening period. Canada leads 1-0. Puck rolls to Marcel Dion. In behind the net, a pass in front. Ronovo just failed to get a shot away as Hardy Astrom covered up. The puck rolls to the far side. Anderson brings it out. Number 23 with it over the Team Canada line, and it's offside as Edberg was over about a stride ahead of the puck carrier, number 23, Anderson.
Well, here we get a second look at it. The Swedish player tries to hold. In fact, I think he does hold. There's the straddle. But the linesman on the line called it for the outside. But it looked to be a legal play with the Swedish player straddling the line near the boards.
And the puck is dumped back, and going after it is number 28, Lars Lindgren. A pass up on the right side to Anderson. Anderson going in with Edberg, and Lundholm is stopped at the Team Canada line. Edberg, a long shot. That's stopped by Heron. And it's taken behind the net by Brad Maxwell of Canada. Up to Dion. Over on the far side to Hickey. He was stopped. Anderson slapped it out, but it was gloved ahead, and the referee, Ken Pierce of the United States, whistles it down. Kent-Eric Anderson, number 23, had 15 goals and 18 assists this past year with the NHL Minnesota North Stars. Bobby McMillan of Team Canada looking on as we played 6 minutes and 22 seconds in the opening period. Canada won, and Sweden no score. Face off almost directly in front of the Swedish goaltender, Hardy Astrom. Knocked in at the blue line there by Pat Ribble. Into the corner after it goes number 7, Lindblom. He's checked, and trying to bring it out now is Olsen. Olsen, number 20, coming up to center ice, shoots it into the corner. Raceboard knocked off the boards. Slapping away is Gradin, but Canada almost broke out as Paymont had the puck, but then lost control. Goes into the corner. Ribble goes in after it. Left it there, comes around to the far side. Given a bump was Lindblom by Don Lever. And it's held there into the corner, the left of Dennis Heron, for a whistle.
Well, I think the influence on the Swedish hockey team, a lot of those hockey players playing in North America, they seem to be dumping the puck more in than they used to or formerly did. They like that long breakaway pass like most of the European teams do, but they're dumping the puck more than they used to and going in after it, chasing it more in a Canadian style.
Face off to the left of Heron. Brazer, number 22, will take this face off against Gary Younger, and it goes to Picard, number 24. Both teams are at full strength. Canada leading 1-0 on a goal by Lever, and we've played 7 minutes and 10 seconds in the opening period. Hampton in his own zone for Canada. Gave it right to the Swedish player, and it was knocked off that stick by Bobby McMillan. Here comes McMillan over the line. He's checked. Picard takes it at center ice, and he just fires it in. And the puck brought back into the Team Canada zone, an intentional offside. Picard, number 24 of the Washington Capitals. He'll be 21 on May 25th.
And he's played very well in the tournament. In fact, all the young defensemen for Team Canada have played exceptionally well here.
Puck is dropped, comes right to Picard. Safely goes back in behind his own net. as we approach the 7-minute, 30-second mark here in the opening period. Ahlberg gets it into the corner. Eriksson setting up, comes back to the blue line and out. And the Swedish team will be forced to regroup to get onside. Comes over to Salming. He takes an elbow, but got the puck to Brazer. Brazer on the right side, intercepted by the Team Canada player, Mike Murphy. Into the corner, a pass right in front. Hampton lead pass to McMillan. Unger at the blue line, straddling it, goes over, and it's knocked off McMillan's stick up into the Swedish bench.
Well, Waltin not moving up inside the line. That's one of the things that a hockey club really gets discouraged about. The Swedish team forechecking very hard. The puck comes back to the blue line. You find that the defenseman hasn't moved up quickly enough. The puck comes out, then everybody has to come all the way back. And that's discouraging for people forechecking, and sometimes turns them off so they don't forecheck quite as hard.
Pronovo is out there now with Marcel Dion and Pat Hickey. Kearns and Brad Maxwell on defense for Canada. The puck rolls into the Swedish zone. And Sweden trailing by a score of 1-0. That's offside as it came outside the blue line, and Dion brought it back in. This is a big day for CTV television. We have many interesting shows coming up this weekend. Of course, the 104th running of the Kentucky Derby from Churchill Downs following this game. And tomorrow, the World Championship men's double tennis final. And next Saturday, the Memorial Cup. Here it's Canada leading by a score of 1-0. Marcel Dion gets a shot, and it goes wide as it missed the net by a couple of feet. Back in behind the net goes Anderson, number 23. Left it there as we approach the 8-minute, 45-second mark in the opening period. Lindgren got a long shot. That missed the Team Canada goal by quite a margin. In behind the net is Lundholm, a pass in front, and it just failed to get into the net. Canada is Marcel Dion up to Pronovo. Pronovo is stopped. Lindgren backhands it, gets it outside his own blue line, and it rolls back to Dennis Kearns. Kearns up on the left side. Here comes Hickey. In front, back to Hickey, his shot, and Hardy Astrom stops that. And Sweden fires it down the ice, and they'll be called back for icing.
Well, Marcel Dion made a nice little play there. Neat little play, broke in quickly. Here we see the replay, the puck coming out, being thrown in to Hickey. Hickey puts it into Dion. Look at the quick little move behind him, leaving Hickey all by himself. And we have Astrom coming up with a good stop. The quick little move again. Here we have the action that was in the Team Canada end with the Swedes moving in quickly. The defenseman moving right in front of the net, trying to screen off so that Sweden get the opportunity from the slot.
The only scoring play, Lever from Sharpley at 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Canada 1, Sweden 0. And we've played 9 minutes and 23 seconds in the opening period. Puck rolls over to Gradin. Gradin has had the big scoring opportunity for Sweden, going in on a breakaway, but was stopped earlier by Dennis Herron. Back comes Sweden again. A pass up on the right side. Olsen's into the corner after it. He's bumped by Ribble. Puck comes back to the line. Stopped there by Lindblom, but he couldn't get a shot. Here comes Canada over the line. And into the corner after it was Lysiak, but Astrom got there first. This is the World Hockey Championship on CTV. Ready now for this face-off. Brazer against Gary Unger. Unger, number 7 for Canada. The puck comes back to Picard. His drive. And Hardy Astrom stops that. Into the Swedish zone. Knocked against the boards. Puck trying to get loose there to Lysiak. And it's intercepted and brought out by Ahlberg, number 16. Up to the Team Canada line and over. Brazer breaks for the goal in front. Looking for the pass. It comes back to the line. Salming's shot, and Dennis Herron steered that into the corner. Salming keeps it in. In after it is Eriksson, number 12, to Brazer. Eriksson gets it again in front, and his shot is grabbed and held onto by Dennis Herron. 10 minutes and 27 seconds have been played in the opening period.
Well, here we see the puck being kept into the Team Canada corner. There's the little tip ahead. Unger loses in the corner. Here we have Eriksson coming right out. The shot high up in Huron. He's covering up for that rebound. And it's interesting, too, to note that Stig Salming. Here we see it again. Unger just losing it. Eriksson moving out. The high shot. Huron smothers it, making sure that there's no rebound. But Stig Salming, I guess because of the eye injury to his brother, is now wearing a protective shield in front of his eyes.
And the puck kept in there at the line by Lindgren. Goes in behind the Team Canada goal. A pass in front. They score! And it's tied 1-1. And the Swedish players off the bench as they tie it up. And I believe it was Anderson parked in front that fired it home.
There he is, Anderson going off. Of course, he had 3 goals. Here we have it right from the draw. The puck being kept in at the point by Salming. Goes behind the net. Here we have Kearns tipping it ahead, losing possession. We have 3 defenders all behind the net. We have Anderson all by himself in front, but you can never have 2 defensemen caught behind the net. Here we have 3 of Team Canada players behind the net. There's the puck coming loose. No one in front covering up. Takes his time. Puts it high up in the glove side of Dennis Huron.
And back to the live action now. David Shand for Canada. Pass up on the right side to Marcel Dion, coming up with Hickey and Pronovo. And they're stopped. Dion gets it again, spun around, and the puck is taken by Stig Osling. He tries to get a pass up on the left side to Holmgren. It's stopped. And Pat Ribble will try now for Canada. Ribble slaps it to center ice, cleared right back in by Olsen, number 20. And Shand has it for Canada on the delayed offside. A 1-1 tie with 11 minutes and 14 seconds gone in the opening period.
Now that goal by the Swedish team, that's one little lesson for young hockey players to look at, that really if one defenseman is chasing somebody behind the net looking for that puck, the other one has to always cover up in front. You can never have 2 people behind the net, 2 defensemen behind the net, whenever there's doubt about possession of the puck, because if we get caught with 2 behind, there's always someone open in front of the net.
Unger's out there now for Canada. The puck is knocked over to Mike Murphy, and he gives it to Picard. Picard can't get it out, kept in at the line, fakes the shot, puck rolls in front, and Salming almost got a shot away. Immediately after this game from Prague, we'll go to the other side of the world for the 104th running of the Kentucky Derby from Churchill Downs. It'll be live on CTV following this game between Canada and Sweden. Ready now, Brazer, number 22 at center for Sweden against Unger. Puck rolls into the corner. Shand is after it. Going behind his own goal. Gets it on the left wing side to Murphy. And Murphy forced to go back. A 1-1 tie, Sweden and Canada. The game live from Prague, Czechoslovakia. Cleared out to center. Stopped by Shand. Shand brings it in, then scoops it into the corner. Murphy goes in after it. Murphy trying to get it to Gary Unger, and it's knocked off his stick. And back comes Sweden. Pass up on the right side. Eriksson's over the line. A long pass. Intercepted by McMillan. Here comes McMillan for Canada. Over the line. Going in with Murphy. Gets a shot. And it's deflected off Salming's stick and went wide. Rolls over on the right side to Mats Ahlberg. And Sweden comes right back. Eriksson on the left side takes the pass and the shot. And Heron blocks that. 1-1 tie. We played 12 minutes and 25 seconds in the opening period. This is Gary Unger. Unger dumps it over to Shand. Shand goes back inside his own blue line to Pat Ribble. Ribble then shoots it into the Swedish zone. Stopped by Astrom. And swinging in his own zone was Lindgren. Couldn't get it out. The puck rolls to Hampton and just slipped outside the blue line. But Hampton clears it in, delayed offside, as his teammate was caught in there. Same on. This is the World Hockey Championship on CTV.
Last night, I went out with a car. I usually prefer unassuming cars or conservative cars. But Monte Carlo changed me. With the way it looked, the way it felt, the way it handled. And what we like about Monte Carlo now is the way it fits, the both of us. 1978 Monte Carlo. because you are what you drive.
And back to the live action. Play just underway. Cleared into the Swedish zone. In after it is Lars Lindgren, number 28. Up on the left wing side is Lundholm, number 17. He stopped. In to help out there was Anderson. He lost it. And number 14 for Canada got a shot away there. That, of course, Glenn Sharpless. Puck rolls over to the far side. Paymon is dumped. Puck rolls to Edberg. Edberg feeds a pass to Lundholm up on the right side. And Sweden comes back on the attack. There's a drive. And that's stopped by Dennis Herron. Picard lead pass to Lever. Lever's up to the Swedish line into the corner. Stops. Knocked against the boards. Puck goes loose. In to get it for Sweden is Lindgren. He's checked. Puck rolls to Lever. Back to Hampton. In front. Puck is loose. And out of the net is Astrom to clear it off front to the boards, and it goes down the ice. Going back for Canada is Picard. Picard winding up. Watched there by Lundholm. There's a pass to Pronovo over to Dion. And it was broken up by Lars Lindgren. Sweden coming back on the right side. Over the line is Olsen. Olsen, number 20, backhands it in front. And there to get it for Canada is Pronovo. His pass to Marcel Dion just failed to click. Puck slapped off the boards into the corner after it. Goes Olsen, number 20, behind the net. Olsen has Holmgren parked in front. The puck rolls to Gradin. He's checked. And Canada's Jean Pronovo. Pronovo is held against the boards, and we get a whistle.
Well, there again we see the score being 1-1, Canada, Sweden. We see the quick whistles. Anytime that puck goes near the boards, the officials here in Europe, there aren't as many corners, the rink being much bigger. They don't like to see that puck being held and a lot of people pushing against the boards. And they blow the whistle very, very quickly. And it was blown quickly there at the Team Canada blue line.
14 minutes and 33 seconds have been played in the opening period. Both teams are at full strength. The puck slapped down the ice. And Astrom steps out of the net. Momentarily, the puck goes over to Stig Solming. Solming passes right in front of his own net. Puck's over on the left side. And Sweden coming out. It's a 1-1 tie. With the puck is Waltin over the line. And it's offside. Great number of Canadians here. And, of course, all Canadians are pulling for Team Canada in this World Hockey Championship. One of their biggest boosters is General Motors. They've been behind this team 100%, not only in bringing you this telecast today, but in the overall operation of Team Canada. The support of General Motors is greatly appreciated. 1-1 tie, both teams at full strength. And Sweden has the puck. Comes up on the left side, led by Waltin over the line. He stopped. McMillan chases him. The puck comes over to Eriksson. And covering up is Brad Maxwell. Maxwell slaps it off the boards to Mike Murphy. Murphy, number 18, back to Maxwell at center ice, going in with Unger. And that pass just failed to reach Gary Unger. Over to the far side, Waltin can't get it. Kept in by Team Canada. Rolls and stopped there by Brazer, number 22. 15 minutes and 35 seconds have been played in the opening period. A 1-1 tie. Back comes Sweden. Over the line goes Ahlberg. He's checked. Puck rolls outside the blue line to center ice. Kearns had it momentarily. He was checked. Brazer drops it back inside his own blue line. Lead pass there for Ahlberg. Back to Brazer. Sweden comes up over the line. Eriksson got a drive. It was stopped. Bouncing puck goes in behind the Team Canada goal. Paymont left it there. Gets it from Maxwell. Over the Swedish line, a drive, and that's stopped by Hardy Astrom. Canada and Sweden, a 1-1 tie, and it's held at the Swedish blue line for a face-off. Earlier today, Czechoslovakia defeated the Soviet Union by a score of 6-4. So Czechoslovakia in first place. They've won 6 games, lost none. They have 12 points. The Soviet Union, they've won 4, lost 1 for 8 points. But the Soviet Union rather have won 5 and lost 1 for 10 points. But a big victory today earlier for Czechoslovakia over the Soviet Union, 6-4. Back comes Sweden here. This is Mats Ahlberg over the line. Feeds the pass to Lundholm. Comes back. Lindgren's shot, and it's stopped by Dennis Herron. Canada's record, they've played 5. Canada has won 3 and lost 2.
Here we see the puck being moved out quickly over the Swedish line. Coming in late here, turning around, back to the point. The shot, Dennis Herron grabbing it. And he's been very good today to make sure that there's no rebounds. He's killed that puck every chance that he's had. He hasn't left it laying around. He's been very neat with the puck around the net.
And a reminder, coming up on these CTV stations following today's game between Canada and Sweden, we'll bring you live coverage of the Kentucky Derby. This is the World Hockey Championship on CTV.
Sometimes when you have a get-together, it's hard to please everybody. Some folks like one kind of beer, and other folks prefer another. The 2-4 split from Carling O'Keefe can handle both. Because inside, you get 12 easy-drinking O'Keefe and 12 great-tasting OVs. The 2-4 split from Carling O'Keefe. Great for parties. Or take one home yourself and enjoy the next week or two deciding which you think is our better half.
Ready now for the face-off to the left of the Team Canada goal, number 15, Edberg out there for Sweden. Puck rolls back to Lindgren, got a drive that was stopped by Marcel Dion, trying to set up Hickey, but it goes over 2 lines on the offside pass against Canada.
Well, there we see Pat Hickey in New York Rangers. Here we see the play coming out of the Team Canada zone. There it's being thrown inside, from inside their blue line. Pat Hickey giving it a little touch just outside the red line, 2 lines back inside.
Edberg into the face-off position. He has Anderson and Lundholm on the wings. Marcel Dion, Pronovo, and Pat Hickey, the forward unit for Canada. Anderson has scored the lone goal for Sweden. Lever, the goal scorer for Canada. Puck slapped into the Swedish zone, and it's icing. And we played 16 minutes and 46 seconds in the opening period.
Well, there we see Gary Unger and scratching his beard. A lot of Team Canada players, I think, are getting an early start on the summer. They're letting their beards grow. Quite a few of them here have got some hair on their face.
Face off in the Team Canada zone. Puck rolls over to Hampton. Out to Marcel Dion. Got to the blue line, was stopped, but Canada got possession and cleared it in. Lindgren goes behind his own goal for Sweden. Bumps with Marcel Dion. Dion gets the puck, backhands it behind the net. In there after it is Lundholm. He slaps it right back into the Canadian zone. Sweden has a 2-on-1. Pass in front, stopped by Picard. And Hampton comes back quickly to Marcel Dion. Dion at center. Pass was behind Pronovo. Delayed offside. Sweden, though, got possession, cleared it out. And they have it again. Lindgren passes on the left side. Anderson, number 23, has it. There's a pass to Rolf Edberg back in front. Dipsy doodling around. That shot goes up over the top of the glass and out of play.
Well, I think the Swedish team, after coming back with that goal to tie up the game, it's given them a little more confidence. They're coming on as the period progresses. Team Canada started very fast with the early goal. Seemed to have a lot of confidence early in the hockey game. But now Sweden is coming back in the later stages of the first period, and they seem to have more confidence handling the puck, and they're moving it quicker than they were in the earlier stages of the hockey game.
Ready now for the face-off. Linesman Smirnov of the Soviet Union drops the puck. It rolls right in front. Getting a shot there was Olsen, but it bounced off a stick, and Canada has possession. Maruk off the boards into the Swedish zone. Off into the corner. After the puck goes Olsen, and it comes out to center ice, covering up Dennis Kearns. Ahead to Maruk, coming up with Guy Charon, and the puck just failed to reach him. Sweden comes racing back. Over the line and into the corner goes Olsen. Tried to get it in front. Kearns took him out of the play. Holmgren chases after Guy Charon, and the puck is at center. Taken by Sweden. Both teams are at full strength. Holmgren is checked. Maruk tried to get the pass from Charon, but he was bumped off. And here comes Sweden again, and that's broken up by Kearns. Kearns gives it to Lindblom of Sweden. Over the line, offside. as Holmgren went over the line. He was bumped there by Tom Lysiak.
Well, this is the second time in the hockey game. They're just going off now that Harry Howell has used a fourth line that consists of 3 centers in the National Hockey League. Guy Charron, Dennis Maruk, and Tom Lysiak. All 3 of them being centers, but he's thrown that fourth line out twice in the first period, the pace being fairly quick, giving his other players a little bit of a blow.
1 minute and 31 seconds remain to be played in the first period. A 1-1 tie, and the puck comes to Ribble. Both teams at full strength. Ribble off the boards for Murphy, but he didn't see the pass and was over the line when he picked it up offside. Mike Murphy, a 20-goal scorer this year with the NHL Los Angeles Kings. And the face-off just outside the Team Canada blue line. Referee Pierce is saying, well, if it's offside, let's go back inside. Now they're trying to check with the officials. And Pierce says, all right, well, we'll drop it here. Minute 22 remaining in the first period. Puck comes over to Salming. Salming inside his own zone, dropped it to Waltine. Waltine spins around, gets as far as his own blue line. He was stopped. Unger goes into the corner after it. Bumped against the boards, has possession of the puck. Then he's checked by Brazer. The puck rolls loose, and Sweden has it. Back comes Sweden. We're into the final minute of the opening period. Waltine passes in front. It's knocked away from him, and covering up is Gary Unger. Unger of Canada. Ribble will try now, number 3. Ribble on the left side, comes out to center. He's stopped. Puck cleared over on the far side to Bobby McMillan. He's stopped, and Salming goes after Ribble. And Ribble just fires it in. Stopped. Unger tried to get it. Gets a shot away, and that just went sailing through the crease. 25 seconds left in the opening period. A 1-1 tie. Over the line, Murphy again offside at the Swedish blue line.
Well, some of these offside calls are a little doubtful at the blue line. At that time, I was quite positive we may get another look at it here. That puck went across the line. Murphy's feet were on behind the line. His stick went ahead, took possession of the puck over the line. However, it's called for offside. And some of the offsides, the linesmen are blowing very, very quickly.
And Sweden gets possession right from the face-off. It's a 1-1 tie. The puck cleared into the corner. Picard goes in after it, chased by Lundberg. Fires it around, stopped there, and Picard gets it again with 5 seconds left. Canada with possession. Lever passes ahead to Sharpley. His shot broke his stick when he took the shot as the horn goes to end the first period of play. And they started off quickly, but play got a little ragged after it was tied by Sweden 1-1.
Well, Sweden came back quickly after they scored the goal. I think they did get a little more confidence. They moved the puck. They were a little apprehensive early in the hockey game. They did have the 2-man breakaway that Dennis Herron came up with a great stop. But after the goal by Anderson, they seemed to come on, carry the play a little more towards Team Canada. Team Canada not quite as aggressive, not quite as active with the puck in the later stages of the period.
Right, Tom, and that's how it stands now, a 1-1 tie. And this is the World Hockey Championship on CTV.
Well, you're gonna get yourself new wheels and you're wondering what they'll be. Just come on trucking with GMC. Get a rally wagon or a pickup truck or get a Jimmy Fun machine and let's go trucking. Everybody's trucking. Nothing goes trucking like a GMC. GMC, the truck people from General Motors.
Regal, the down-to-earth dream car from Buick.
A little science.
Trimmer on the outside, yet somehow larger inside with more headroom, legroom, even more trunk space than last year.
A little magic.
Also available as a sport coupe with the wizardry of a turbocharged V6 engine.
Science.
And all the traditional excellence you've come to expect in a Buick.
Yeah, I want one.
Fantastic.
The new Regal, the real stuff that dreams are made of.
all here. You're the beer we praise, the wine we raise, when good fun and good friends are near. You're our frosty mug, you're our little brown jug. It's so be for you and me. Just say oh be for our first kind of pleasure. Oh Vienna, you just say oh be. Say oh be.
Well, we have with us Dan Bouchard, goaltender for the Atlanta Flames. Dan is the assistant goaltender out there tonight, the spare, but he performed spectacularly in the 5-0 defeat at the hands of Czechoslovakia. Many people thought the score would have been double that except for your work, Dan.
Oh, well, it was a pretty tough game, but we didn't have really the breaks, you know. We had a couple of chances scoring, making it even tying it at 1, then go ahead, but we missed our chances, and they never quit, you know, and we got penalized. And
You're not showing us your hand here because it's badly swollen. A fellow named Chernik, who scored 3 goals for Czechoslovakia, he was wrapping you most of the night, wasn't he? Didn't he badly bruise your thumb?
yeah, well, as soon as they notice that you have an injury, well, no, they're very sneaky, and they'll spear you or hit you, and they did a couple times in the first period, and as we were told to keep our cool, you know, and I didn't let him bother me. And even in the second period, he tried it once, but on the one time after a whistle, as I turned around, he took a shot at me, you know, and he hit me right on the glove, and it was quite deliberate, you know, and that's how they play. People do think that they play clean hockey, but as you can see, the game tonight, it was not that clean.
Tell me, Dan, what do you think about the way Team Canada is playing in this first period?
Well, we're a little shaky, you know, like we're having a hard time getting going, you know, our pass is a little bit off, but that's cause, you know, like not playing that much together, you know, you have guys that play with different teams here, and we didn't have that long a training camp, 4 games and maybe 8 practice, and that's very little to compete with these guys, but I think on the long run, we're going to do pretty well, you know, like it's just got to keep our cool. We're going to have to play for the breaks mostly. The first and the second period, that was what I thought, and that's how it looks like.
I'll tell you something. All of Team Canada players show just amazing confidence. Well, now, Dan, we're going to take a look at some of the highlights of just a great game, the Czech-Russian game that was won by Czechoslovakia 6-4, and we'll let Dan make some comments on it, and we'll comment on it. And these are not all the highlights, but these are just some of the action pieces that took place during this game. 6-4, the score once again for Czechoslovakia. It featured, by the way, the first bench-clearing brawl I have ever seen involving 2 European clubs. Well, now you see the action taking place, and this in white is the Czechoslovakian club. The Russians are in red. It is the Czechoslovakians with the puck in the Russian zone at the present time, and circling around with that puck right now trying to get his shot away is number 11, which is Novak, who had himself quite a game. They jam around the net, and it is put into the goal. The goal was made there by number 25, or make that 26, I believe it was, Peter Stastny. And as a result, we're just cleaning off the second period there. The goaltending was fairly sharp in this game, though, I thought, Dan.
Yeah, they had good goaltending, but there's one thing like twice Tretiak got caught making a save, you know, where it was kind of a last second, you know, like he had to go down and he got caught down twice and forget it. They just put it by you. As soon as you go down, forget it, you know. They'll pick it up. They put it right by you. It's very important to stay up on first shot.
I was just going to say that goal was by 26 Peter Stastny. The previous one was by Ivan Linka. And now these are some of the third period highlights. And there is a fine goal.
That was a pretty good goal there. The guy came on the wide angle, and he make a good, very, very good move, and he moved the goalie away. And there's that famous pass in front of the net there. They do that all the time. They just come right around the net. They control the back of the net, and that's where all the play mostly originates from.
Well, Eberman scored the other goal, and Luchenko scores the last goal here for the Soviet Union, and they were out of the game by then, of course. But as you're pointing out, they are very dangerous in front of those nets.
Oh, yeah, you got to make sure you catch everything or you deflect everything this side of the net, because they're very sneaky. They'll hold on to your defense, or they'll tie them up, and there'll be another guy just rushing in, you know. And they like to, you know, they do a lot of holding, a lot of hooking, and, you know, we're getting used to it. We're trying to keep our cool, and
they tell you to keep your cool before every game, do they, Dan?
Oh, yeah. He told us to roll with the bounces and with the punches.
Okay, thank you very much, goaltender Dan Bouchard. This is World Championship Hockey on CTV.
This is the famous Art Center College, where we teach many of the world's great car designers. And this is the new Chevrolet Malibu. For years, I've been telling my students, make their cars smaller on the outside, bigger inside, more efficient. Looks like somebody was listening. Back here, more leg and headroom than last year, and plenty of comfort up front. And yet it takes less space on the road. The new family-size Malibu. It's beautiful.
You're a kind of beer, you're a great tasting beer. Say O-V when the gang is all here. You're the beer we praise, the one we raise. When good fun and good friends are ever so near. Just say O-V for a fresh kind of pleasure. Oh, Vienna, you just say O-V.
Well, Guy Charron is with me from the Washington Capitals and a valuable member of Team Canada. Guy, we don't appear to be just as sharp as we should be out there in that first period of play, or could be.
Well, I thought right at the beginning, I thought we kind of set the tempo, and they didn't know exactly what was going to happen. And then, they got a breakaway. Then he came with a big save. But it seems like you said, we've lost some of the momentum that we had at the first part of the game. So hopefully that within the next period, and so we just start off again well and keep the tempo right to the end.
Guy, how is your injury? You haven't played much because of it.
Well, it's an injury that occurred to me late in the season, and I re-injured it against East Germany. It seems that, it's not anything bad that needs to be off skates or anything, but I do have to play with some pain.
What is it?
It's, they don't say it's ligaments, but it's where muscles attach, and there's tendons there, and it seems that it's been, it just hurts, and it's just been stretched, and it needs to be treated every day, and possibly would need more rest and maybe just a day to get it better.
That's why you haven't been able to make the regular shifts out there.
Well, I just hope that, with a couple of shifts that the leg does get better so I can get back, get back in the lineup. I'm sure I want to play.
All right. Guy Charron, I know you're going to go out there and cheer the club on in the second period as we've got a 1-1 tie, and this is World Hockey Championship play on CTV.
Colt 45 beer. Colt 45 beer right here.
After years of drinking another beer, I've switched. Now I'm drinking a great new Canadian beer, Colt 45. The taste of Colt 45 changed my mind. It could change your mind about your old beer.
Now you tell me, isn't it the very best beer that you've ever tasted? Colt 45 beer.
Nobody's got it like Pontiac's got it.
No other compact offers all that Phoenix offers. In two-door coupes, a hatchback, and four-door sedans with a standard V6, optional V8, or even a four-cylinder engine. Nobody's got it like Phoenix, the lowest price six-passenger Pontiac.
You got it, Pontiac.
Nobody's got it like Pontiac. Pontiac's got it.
Here we have the save by Dennis Herron on the two-man breakaway that Sweden had early in the period. Canada's already scored to make the score 1-0 early in the hockey game. Here's the shot from Hampton at the point. It's tipped just in front of the net by Sharpley, and it goes wide. Here we have Kearns moving the puck ahead. Here's Hickey slipping it through to Dion. Dion makes the quick pass back to Hickey. Good stop here by Astrom, but Team Canada could have had their second goal quite easily there. Dion being very quick. Now here we have Kearns losing the puck behind the net. Sharpley goes in as well. The other defenseman is standing off the far side. So we have three Team Canada defenders behind the net. Anderson all by himself in front to put the puck home. Here we have the late little move in the game. Turns back to the point. The shot. Dennis Herron gloving it, making sure that there's no rebound.
And that's how it stands, 1-1 now with Don Lever, a power play goal, and Anderson getting the other goal for Sweden. And it's been a rather interesting first period here in Prague, Czechoslovakia, and an important game for Canada and for Sweden, of course. Czechoslovakia winning earlier today 6-4 over the Soviet Union. And a reminder, coming up after this World Hockey Championship telecast, we'll go to the 104th running of the Kentucky Derby from Churchill Downs, the old Kentucky home of the first jewel in the American Triple Crown Classic for 3-year-old thoroughbreds. Live following this telecast the Kentucky Derby on CTV. Of course, tomorrow we'll move into Kansas City for the World Championship men's double tennis final. And then next Saturday, of course, the 59th Memorial Cup, live from Sudbury, all exclusive on CTV.
Well, here it's very important for Team Canada to get a win in this hockey game because their chances of a medal depend a great deal on the outcome of the game. And if they're able to get the win over Sweden today, then of course they will be tied with Sweden. But with the win over Sweden, that would put them ahead in the standings. And then we play the Soviet Union on Monday. So the game today is very important for Team Canada. It's also very important, of course, for Sweden and trying to get medal honors. With Czechoslovakia winning today, not having any loss in the tournament, playing at home, it's going to be very difficult to catch them in terms of a gold medal in these World Championships.
And of course, Tom, the game Monday will be seen on CTV, Canada against the Soviet Union. And that'll be some battle come Monday. Two teams back on the ice. Marcel Dion just heading towards the ice surface here in Prague. Dion has had quite a championship, scoring 7 goals and 1 assist so far in the 5 games, and a few of the Team Canada supporters on hand.
Yes, there's quite a few here. Well, the other goal scorer as well as Marcel Dion, Dennis Maruk has got 6 goals, and he hasn't really had a regular shift. Harry Howell's played him in spot duty, played him on power plays, had him kill penalties, played on a 4th line. Dennis Maruk really hasn't played all that much, but every time he's been on the ice, he's been dangerous. He's a great goal scorer.
And Dennis Herron getting his mask on, and the players coming back to pat him on the pads, and we get set to go to start the second period of play, a 1-1 tie. This is the first goal. Look at Don Lever in front, and he fires it past Astrom. That was a power play goal. Lever from Sharpley at 2 minutes and 45 seconds of the opening period.
Earlier, Paymont did a lot of work in the corner, keeping the puck in, kicking it ahead. Sharpley came right out of the corner, and the Swedish defender had to leave Lever in front of the net, and it was in.
Hardy Astrom telling me today at the Swedish practice that although his NHL debut was a victory over the Montreal Canadiens, he said, no, that wasn't my biggest moment in the NHL. He said it was a couple of nights later when I played for the Rangers and we beat the Chicago Blackhawks 3-2. But Astrom in goal tonight for Sweden. Spent most of the year in the American League with New Haven. Right from the draw, the puck taken by Waltin, a lead pass. Sweden comes over the line, and that shot was stopped by Dennis Herron, covered up by Ribble. Ribble brings it out for Canada. Stop at the line, but Canada breaks away, and this is McMillan coming over the line with Gary Younger. Stops, passes back. The drive is knocked down as Mike Murphy got a shot. He's checked against the boards by Roland Erickson. The puck rolls back to the blue line. Ribble lets it go, and Astrom gloves it and holds on to it long enough to get the whistle.
Long enough.
Trouble is temporary. Please do not adjust your set.
Is Lindblom, got it over to number 3, Osling. Osling of Sweden to the Canada line, shoots it in, and Dennis Herron leaves it for Kearns. Kearns to Brad Maxwell. Maxwell just scoops it down the ice. It rolls into the Swedish end. Over the line, it's checked there by Osling. Tried to get the pass up to Olsen. He's stopped. And play getting a little scrambly here, delayed offside at the Swedish blue line.
Well, I think both teams are playing very cautious. Rather than taking the chance on that pass that may be intercepted, we saw Maxwell just lifting it out, making sure he got it out of his own zone. They're playing very cautious, not wanting to go down 2-1 early in the second period, and both teams giving the puck away rather quickly.
And we played 2 minutes and 7 seconds in the second period, a 1-1 tie. Lever has scored for Canada. Anderson has scored for Sweden, both goals in the first period. There's a chance for McMillan, and he had Astrom reaching for that, but the shot was wide. Inside the Swedish line, they hold it against the boards, and they get a whistle. The referee for today's game is Ken Pierce of the United States. Smirnov, number 26 from the Soviet Union, and Van Hanen of Finland, number 27, the other linesman. And looking at the skates there, and Rick Noonan. Oh, no, that's Jerry Dean, the assistant trainer. Puck comes back to the line. There's a drive by Shan, stopped by Astrom, the rebound, and Astrom reaches up and holds on and gets a whistle. You know, over 80% of the players in this World Hockey Championship are using the plastic skate blade. It's very interesting. In fact, 11 members of the Swedes are using the plastic skate blade. 7 players in the top 10 scoring are using the nylite skates. Very popular blade used by these Europeans and many of the Canadians. Back comes Canada into the corner, or Sweden rather. Brazer is checked by Gary Younger, knocked against the boards. Ribble then took a shot at Brazer and he fell. 2 minutes and 55 seconds. It's a 1-1 tie here in the second period. Live from Prague, Czechoslovakia, Sweden against Canada. McMillan got the puck over to Shan. Shan to McMillan. And it's stopped by Astrom. Unger slaps and it goes wide. Comes back to Shan. Shan into the corner. Taken against the boards by Waltin. Waltin off the boards. And it rolls to the Swedish blue line. And after it was Matt Dahlberg, but he couldn't get it. Ribble comes back for Canada. Pass on the far side. Here is a chance for Murphy. And he's robbed by goaltender Astrom. As now play starts to open up. Dahlberg just failed to get his stick on that pass. And it goes to David Shand. Shand and Canada coming back on the attack. McMillan's over the line to Murphy to Unger. Puck goes loose. Rolls to Waltin to Solming. And he gives it right to David Shand. Shand at center is checked. And Sweden comes up with it. Coming over the line. Eriksson's on left wing. Here's a chance. Loose puck in front. And Brazer just failed to get a shot away as Heron made the initial save. Puck goes behind the Team Canada zone. And we get a whistle and another faceoff. This is the World Hockey Championship on CTV.
This is Colt 45, a great new Canadian beer in a great new 18-pack. Why an 18-pack? Well, the 18-pack holds more than a 12, and it's easier to tote around than a 2-4.
Colt 45 beer.
And the puck is dropped. Dion tries to get it out, just gets it outside the blue line. Sweden gets possession of it quickly. This is Lundholm, number 17 stop. Back comes Hampton. Over the line to Marcel Dion. He took a shot. That was knocked down in front and cleared out to center. Back comes Edberg. Edberg of Sweden over the Canada line. Got a shot away. Kicked out by Dennis Heron. Marcel Dion for Canada. Watched by Lundholm. Passes up on the right side to Rick Hampton. Goes into the corner. Hickey after it. He's bumped there by Zetterstrom. And Marcel Dion almost stepped into the Swedish player. And it's cleared out at center ice. Going after it. Lundholm to Edberg on the left side. And it's offside at the Canada blue line.
Well, we're opening up a little more now. Both teams are going end-to-end, becoming a little more loose, going all out to get that second go-ahead goal. First we had McMillan, then we had Murphy. Murphy made a good move on Astrom, just holding the puck a little longer than he might have liked to, trying to get Astrom to go down before he got the shot. And then Ahlberg coming off the bench and getting a good opportunity for Sweden. But both teams now are opening up more than they had in the early stages of the second period.
Ready now for the face-off. Comes just inside the Team Canada side of the center red line. Waiting for the players to get into position. And now they're ready. The puck is dropped. Comes back to Kearns to Maxwell. Maxwell just fires it off the boards into the Swedish zone. And after it there is number 7, Lindblom. In behind his own goal. And it's held there for a whistle. And this time in the Swedish zone. Raining tonight in Prague, Czechoslovakia, Tom. And we say this evening because local time it's 25 minutes to 9 p.m. in Prague.
Well, here we have the all-center line for Team Canada. Sharon actually playing center with Lysiak and Dennis Maruk.
And that shot by Maxwell was gloved and held onto by Hardy Astrom. There's the drive by Maxwell, gloved by Hardy Astrom. And he'll do the face-off again. Comes back to Maxwell. Maxwell, number 5, takes it into the corner. A pass in front. Maruk was dumped. And going after it is Lindblom against Guy Sharon. Sharon is bumped by Olsen comes back to Dennis Kearns. Over to Maxwell. His shot. And that's gloved and held onto by Astrom.
Well, Dennis Maruk, once he made that little pass, he knows where the net is. When he made the pass out from behind the net, here we see the grappling in the corner. We see Sharon digging for the puck. He just shoves it ahead. Maruk gets it, throws it right to the point. Now watch Maruk. Maruk goes right to the net. It comes across to the far point to get the shot. There's Maruk right off the doorstep of Astrom, looking for that rebound or getting a little tip in. He knows where that net is, and he's got 6 goals already in these championships.
And we played 5 minutes and 30 seconds in the second period, a 1-1 tie. Gary Younger with McMillan and Murphy, the forward unit for Canada. And the game is delayed momentarily while they pick up some debris in front of the Swedish bench, and now they're set to go. Rosser, number 22, is out there for Sweden with Ahlberg and Eriksson. Face off to the left of Astrom, rolls outside the Swedish blue line, and Ribble has it for Canada. Ribble shoots it right back in. Salming, the brother of Toronto Maple Leafs Boria, comes right in front of his own goal. A pass on the left side to Eriksson. Eriksson trying to set up his teammate number 16, Ahlberg, but that just failed to click. Ahlberg will try again at his own blue, coming straight up the middle. Ahlberg over the Team Canada line, got a weak shot as he was checked by Shand, number 8. Dennis Herron, who plays in the National League with the Pittsburgh Penguins. And the Team Canada players looking on, that's Noel Picard. Let's correct that. Robert Picard. Noel Picard's obviously watching back in Canada. There's a shot, he scores! And Sweden takes the lead 2-1.
Well, this shows the importance of getting that draw, winning the draw clean. Right from the face-off, the puck is drawn directly back to Salming, and Salming played. He didn't move right over to the far point. He is the right defenseman, but he moved right over to the midpoint on the ice, and when the puck came back, here we see the draw being taken. Brazar winning it back. Now Salming, you see where he's shooting from. He's actually the right defenseman that goes high to the glove side of Dennis Herron right from the draw. But there you see Salming, another look. He's the right defenseman. His left defenseman is to his left there. But we see him moving right to middle ice. He doesn't move over to the far side, anticipating that puck being drawn right back in the middle of the ice.
And the time of the goal, 6 minutes of the second period. Stig Salming gets the goal. Back to the action. The puck rolls to the Swedish blue line, and they take it inside. Both teams at full strength. Swinging around is Zetterstrom, number 26. Lead pass out to his own blue line was knocked down, but carrying on is Lundholm. Lundholm going in with Edberg, and he was checked by Picard. Back comes Canada. This is Sharpley over the line. Into the corner, going after it is Lever. Lever is checked, gets a pass in front. Sharpley tries to get it over to Hampton. Hampton's drive, and that just goes wide. On the far side is Anderson. Anderson is checked. Puck comes around the boards out to center, and Rick Hampton goes after it, but he's knocked off the puck there by Lundholm. Gets it again. Hampton over the line, and Sharpley just failed to get it as Sweden swings away. This is Lundholm. Lundholm checked by Lever. Takes it behind the net. Lever has him tied up, and the puck rolls to Sharpley to Paymont. Paymont up with Lever. Over the line, a bouncing puck into the corner, and Paymont is checked by Lindgren. Round the boards, kept in by Picard. His shot, and it's knocked down and fired right to the Team Canada zone, and it's icing against Sweden.
Well, there we see Lindgren going off the ice, and he was the one that slid out from in front of the net to block that shot. And he was a little hurt, shaken up by it, but he seems to be all right now going to the Swedish bench. But Lindgren playing a strong game on the defense for the Swedish national team.
Ready now, the face-off to the right of Astrom. And taking the face-off for Sweden is Gradin. A shot by Team Canada's Pat Hickey was stopped. Hickey into the corner after it. Pronovo moves in front of the net. Pass just failed to reach him as it was deflected. Kept in by Maxwell. Maxwell to Pronovo to Pat Hickey. Hickey is watched by Lindblom. A pass comes back to the line to Kearns. His backhander in front, and they slap away, but the puck goes wide. Taken into the boards is Hickey. And the Swedish team Clears it out. Stopped by Kearns to Marcel Dion. Dion was checked. Olsen, number 20, bumps with Kearns. Puck comes up to Gradin over the line. A rolling puck in front. And Pronovo covers up for Canada. Ahead to Dion. Has Hickey on the left side. The puck rolls right to Astrom. Oh, and he tried to slap it away and missed it. And fortunately, got his glove on it before the Team Canada player Pronovo got there.
Well, he seemed a little anxious. Here we see the puck coming back into the Pronovo, moving it quickly out. Dion holding on, dumping the puck in. Here we see Astrom covering. Oops, there we go. Oh, almost coming through, but it would have been disastrous had it left there because we had two Team Canada players busting in for the rebound. There, oh, we're right over top again. We have Pronovo almost tipping it behind him.
Gary Younger, number 7, out there for Canada now. Ready for this face-off. The puck rolls behind the net. This is Waltin, number 6. Waltin of Sweden passes to Brazill. He's checked. Eriksson brings it out, number 12, to the Canada line and over. But Alberg was offside. This is the World Hockey Championship on CTV.
Nobody's got it like Pontiac's got it.
Le Mans, the true midsize. Sound thinking surrounded by sensational styling. A trim new shape compared to last year's Le Mans, but with more head and leg room. And room for 6. Le Mans, the most scientifically designed road car in Pontiac history.
You got it, Pontiac.
Nobody's got it like Pontiac. Pontiac's got it.
Ready now, the puck is dropped. Eriksson is bumped by McMillan. And 8 minutes and 34 seconds have been played in the second period. Sweden leads Canada 2-1. Sweden 2 and Canada 1 here in the second period. Canada rolling out. Shand on the right side, gets to the Swedish line, shoots it in. Astrom out of the net, fires it off the boards to Eriksson. Eriksson content to dump it back to Waltin, to Salming. Back to Waltin. Checked by Bobby McMillan. And now Salming will try for Sweden. The lead pass. Eriksson has a breakaway. Going right in on goal. His shot stopped by Dennis Herron. Big save by Herron as he robbed Eriksson on the breakaway.
Well, what a play it was by Salming when Waltin lost the puck behind the net with forechecking that here we have the puck being moved behind. Salming just threw it. Eriksson broke in between the two Team Canada defenders at the blue line, went in all by his own, takes the time, tries to hold him, put it up high. Herron gets a piece of it, and the puck just slides up over the top of the net. But it was a great pass by Salming, a good move. Here we see Eriksson moving again, keeping the puck at the side of his body so that the goaltender doesn't know whether he's going to shoot or pull him. Tries to put it up high. We see Herron getting his stick and glove on it, just deflecting it up over top of the net. But a very close call for the Swedish national team, and that would have been a disastrous goal for Team Canada.
Well, the Team Canada players were questioning the referee as to why there was a whistle, because the puck was still loose behind the net.
Well, I think the net was knocked off its moorings.
Back comes Canada. The puck stopped there. Into the corner goes Lundholm. Lundholm takes a bump from Picard. Rolled out. Sharon had it knocked off his stick. Picard then was checked by Lundholm. Alberg takes it behind the net. This is a check from Hampton. And Canada comes out, but Sharon just failed to reach that pass. Taking it is Lundholm. Lundholm coming back in with Alberg and Eriksson. Tries to get through the defense. And he's stopped by Picard. Picard swings away from Lundholm. Pass up on the right side to Sharon. And he was checked, and it rolls right back into the Swedish end. And back there to get it is Zetterstrom, number 26. Pass to Lundholm. Out now to Eriksson. Eriksson coming in with Alberg over the line into the corners. Hampton checks him, and Canada brings it back. Up on the right side for Canada is Marcel Dion, or rather Sharon. And Sharon was stopped. Hampton fires it, hits the referee, Ken Pierce. And Sweden brings it back in, but it's offside at the Team Canada blue line. We played 10 minutes and 17 seconds in the second period. And scoring so far for Sweden, Anderson and Salming. Lever has scored for Canada. Salming's goal here in the second period at the 6-minute mark. Lever and Anderson scored in the first period. Osling shoots the puck off the boards into the Team Canada zone, hit the referee, rolls to Gradin, tried to get a shot, but he was stopped, And coming back for Canada is Sharpley. Over the line, Lever just failed to reach it. Sharpley has it again. Back to Lever, bounced off his stick, and rolls in offside at the Swedish blue line. Earlier today, Czechoslovakia defeated the Soviet Union 6-4.
There we see Stig Salming, and you see the protective covering he has for his eyes. He has a little place there for his mouth. It's not a full face protector, but he's covering his eyes, perhaps because of the injury to brother Borja.
Over the line, the puck rolls into the corner. Paymont for Canada goes after it, along with Sharpley. The puck rolls back to the line. Maxwell's shot is away off the target. Kearns tries from the opposite side. Loose puck, and Astrom stopped that. Maxwell keeps it in. Paymont behind the net. Knocked against the boards by Lindblom, and Osling takes a check from Lever. Here comes Sweden, led by Gradin. Going over the line with Holmgren right in front. Back to Holmgren. Slaps away, and Heron stopped him. Dennis Kearns for Canada. Up on the left side for Sharpley. In with Paymont. And he takes a check. The puck rolls loose over the line. Here comes Paymont. Right in on goal. And his shot just went wide. And it's cleared off the boards out to center. Salming for Sweden. Knocked off stride. The puck rolls over to Holmgren. Holmgren in front. Osling couldn't get a shot away. And it's stopped at the blue line. Fired back into the corner. Holmgren goes in after it. Bumped. Puck rolls off the boards to Sharpley. And Sharpley just fires it out to center ice. As we reach the 12-minute mark here in the second period. Maxwell dumps it there. There's no one there, and Kearns forced to go back. Kearns, number 4 for Canada. Off the boards, it comes out. Maxwell to Sharpley. Sharpley at his own blue line. He's bumped off the puck. And going back for Sweden, in behind his own net, is Brazer, number 22. Stopped there at the line by Gary Unger. Unger going in for Canada. Gets it back to McMillan. Puck is loose. And Sweden comes right back. Brazer, a pass on the right side for Eriksson. And a delayed offside at the Canadian line. This is the World Hockey Championship on CTV.
I got the groceries. Colt 45 beer. Colt 45 beer right here.
You know, I used to drink another brand of beer. And I tried this great new Canadian beer, Colt 45. I like the taste. And now it's my regular beer. Colt 45 changed my mind. And it could change your mind about the beer you're drinking now.
Now you tell me, isn't it the very best beer that you've ever tasted? Colt 45 beer.
Sweden 2 and Canada 1. Here in the second period, the puck rolls to Dennis Heron, left it for Shand. Shand, number 8 for Canada. Off the board for McMillan. He's checked. Going in after it is Salming. Waltin tried to get a piece of it as well, and it rolls to Ribble. Ribble just off the boards into the Swedish zone. Unger goes over to check Salming. The puck rolls down the ice, and Ribble backboard for Canada. Puck inside the Canadian line. Stopped there. Eriksson is checked by Shand. And almost stolen there by Waltin, number 6 for Sweden. They hold it against the boards and get another face-off.
Well, the Swedish national team has changed their forechecking system here. They're not letting Team Canada set up behind the net. You saw in that last play where Eriksson broke right off his wing. Rather than turning with his winger, he's chasing the man behind the net. When he shoots it to the side that the forechecker came from, the defenseman is pressing right down, and we saw Waltin running right down almost to the dot to check the Team Canada winger trying to get the puck against the boards and moving it out. But they're pressing down hard and working with their defenseman in the forechecking system they're using.
Puck is dropped, rolls over to Rick Hampton. Hampton tries to get it out, kept in by Alberg. To Lundholm, the rebound, and that's stopped by Heron. Swedish national team with possession, rolls in front. Trying to get a shot was Anderson. He was checked. Lundholm knocked against the board by Hampton. Rolling puck into the corner. Picard runs into Alberg, and the puck is loose. Alberg tries to get it. Still tied up by Picard. Marcel Dion then attempts to get it out. Canada can't get it out. They got it out momentarily, just long enough to get an offside, as Swedish national team was called on the offside.
Well, the pace has picked up considerably. There we see Hampton and Lindblom before him, but the pace has picked up, and Paymont had two good opportunities. First, the tip in, which almost got behind Aspen. The shot turns at the point, and then he busted around the outside of the defense, moved right in, and had a second good opportunity on the previous shift. But Team Canada going end-to-end here, trying to get back in the hockey game, but it's more a wide-open hockey game than these mid-points and later stages of the second period.
2-1 for Sweden. We played 13 minutes and 45 seconds here in the second period. And along with Bill Stevenson and Tom Watt, this is Bernie Pascal, live from Prague, Czechoslovakia. Puck rolls over to Lindblom. Lindblom takes a heavy check, got the pass away to Olsen. Olsen was stopped, and coming back for Canada is Dion. In with Pronovo. The puck came in and then back outside the line, offside against Canada. Czechoslovakia in first place. They've won 6 games, including a 6-4 win earlier today over the Soviet Union. Czechoslovakia has 12 points. The Soviet Union with 10. The Soviet Union have won 5 and lost 1. Canada has won 3 and lost 2. They have 6 points. Sweden has won 4 and lost 1. Maxwell goes back after the puck at his own blue line for Canada. Off the board for Lysiak. Just failed to reach him, and now Kearns will try. Kearns. He's checked in front. The puck stolen there by Gradin, but he couldn't get a shot. Maxwell back for Canada to Tom Lysiak. Lysiak to Kearns. Back to Lysiak. Kearns takes the puck, and he shoots it in, but again, Canada's called on the offside.
Well, this is one of the things that Team Canada has to face, and it is tough. We had that line out there of 3 centers, Lysiak, Chiron, and Maruk, and those 3 hockey players, 2 of those players aren't used to playing on the wing. They're forced to play a position they're not familiar with, and playing with people that they don't know, moving that puck around, it creates the offsides. And those players probably have played center as long as they've played hockey, and they're not really used to playing the position they're in today.
Puck comes to Ribble right from the face-off. He shoots it into the corner. And taking a check there against the boards, McMillan runs into the Swedish player, Eriksson. With a 1-1 tie after the first period, Lever scored a power play goal from Sharpley at 2:45. Anderson tied it up at 10:35, and now Salming with a goal in the second period at the 6-minute mark, and Sweden leads 2-1. In behind the net, Maltin swung at the puck, then goes after it again, chased behind his own net by Murphy. Gosser swings it over to the left side. McMillan runs into the Swedish player. The puck rolls loose. Shan got a weak shot, but it was covered up. And on the board, right down the ice into the Team Canada zone. Eriksson taken heavily into the boards by Ribble. This is the World Hockey Championship on CTV.
Oldsmobile has a great new surprise package for you. A package that comes with super stock wheels, sport mirrors, and its own distinctive paint treatment. It's a new two-tone Olds Special Edition Cutlass, and it's available in white with your choice of 4 exciting metallic accent colors. See and drive the Olds Special Edition Cutlass at your Oldsmobile dealers and discover the great Cutlass feeling. Can we build one for you?
Well, Canada has just been handed a penalty, and Bobby McMillan's in the penalty box for high sticking at 15-11. Sweden 2 and Canada 1. And Sweden with this power play opportunity and the face-off in the Canadian zone. Puck comes over to Eriksson. Eriksson, number 12, setting up, fakes a shot, has Salming in there, passes to Salming. Salming takes it into the corner. He's stopped. Eriksson gets the pass back. Sweden on the power play. Eriksson gets a long shot, stopped by Heron. And that high shot covered up by Dennis Heron.
Well, the Swedish team just moved it outside around the Team Canada 4-man box zone. Here we see the puck coming back to the point. Eriksson moving into the middle. We see Lindholm moving on the far side. Salming coming out on this side. Not too much room. Takes the long shot from the point, and Heron killing the rebound.
Puck comes back now from the face-off. Eriksson has it again. Back to Salming, and his shot just whistled wide. After the loose puck is Lindgren. Gets it back to Salming to Eriksson. Eriksson of Sweden. Back to Salming, lets it go. And that's gloved and held out right in the midsection by Heron again.
Team Canada doing a very good job staying in their zone, not letting anybody inside to get the easy ones off the side of the net, forcing the Swedish team to shoot from the outside. And as long as they can keep that front of that net clear and make them shoot from the outside, then Dennis Heron can play catch for the people shooting the puck from the point.
Minute and 23 seconds remaining in McMillan's penalty. Brazer against Maruk for this faceoff. And they're over anxious to get that face-off. Maruk is sent out. Ready to go now to the right of Dennis Heron. Sweden 2 and Canada 1. Coming up on CTV following this game will be the Kentucky Derby live on the full CTV network. Shand comes out now for Canada. Takes the puck up to center ice. Fires it into the Swedish zone. And we have 1 minute and 8 seconds left in the penalty to McMillan of Canada. Dennis Maruk has the puck in the Swedish zone. Moves in front of the goal. Tries to get a shot away. He's checked by Salming. And the puck rolls out to Mike Murphy. Murphy chased by Brazer. Puck goes back inside the Canadian zone and successfully killing off time in this penalty. There are now 43 seconds left in McMillan's penalty. Sweden leading 2-1. Salming comes back out. Up with Edberg over the line. Salming takes it into the corner. Stopped. Gets it back to Eriksson. Eriksson at the line. Gets a shot. And it just goes wide on the far side. Zetterstrom, they score. Hit the post. No, it's in. The light finally goes on. And the referee, Pierce, right there, signifies a goal. A power play goal for Sweden. And they lead 3-1.
Well, Team Canada did an excellent job for a large part there, keeping control of the puck. Here we see Salming keeping the puck inside. He turns, looks around, holds onto it. Team Canada holding their zone very well. Back to Eriksson at the point. He blasts the first one wide. It just goes off the edge of the net. Here we see the far side, Lindgren moving in, just catching the far corner on Dennis Heron. But a very good job early by Team Canada. There's the first shot going wide by Eriksson. Here's Heron coming back in. You see the shot coming from the difficult angle, just catching the top corner on Dennis Heron. There was some question if the puck was inside the net, but it just caught inside the post. You just see the puck tucked in the webbing inside the post on the far side.
And Lindgren gets credit for the goal. Sweden on the power play goal, lead 3-1. Canada back over the line. Paymont went after the puck, just failed to get it. And covering up for Sweden is Anderson. Passes over now to Zetterstrom. Zetterstrom over the line, moves towards the goal, right in front. A pass, they score! Ahlberg is set up, and it's 4-1 for Sweden. And the Swedish players off the bench quickly. They congratulate Ahlberg. The time of this goal, 17 minutes, 11 seconds.
Well, Sweden striking quickly here. If being ahead 2-1 in the period, have now gone ahead 4-1. First with the power play goal. Here we see them moving the puck quickly. From the point, it's moved across to the far point. Over the line, making the move inside. Now we have the 2-on-1 in front of the net. It's just passed across in front. An easy goal for Ahlberg to put them ahead 4-1. Here we have the move, looking at the puck, not playing the body as the Team Canada defender moves between two of them. The easy goal for Ahlberg at the far side. But you can't look at that puck. If you look at that puck, you're in trouble. You've got to play that man moving in. But two defenders looked at the puck. They were each fooled. Ahlberg with the easy goal.
Sweden 4 and Canada 1 here in the second period. The time of the goal, 17 minutes, 11 seconds. Pronovo shoots it in. Marcel Dion goes after it, but he was stopped by Lindblom. Lindblom attempting to get it out. Got the pass over to Osling. Osling on the right side over the line for Olsen. And that shot goes over the top of the Team Canada net. Into the corner, Gradin. He's bumped against the board. And Canada brings it out, led by Marcel Dion. Up with Pronovo and Hickey. Pronovo takes the pass, fires it off the boards, in behind the net to Hickey. Hickey trying to set it up to Pronovo, comes back to the line. Maxwell lets it go, a loose puck in front. Hickey shoots, he scores! Hickey And it's 4-2 for Sweden.
Well, that was a big goal for Team Canada, being down 4-1, trying to come back here in the late stages of the second period. That second goal is very, very important. The shot coming through from Brad Maxwell at the point. Here we see Team Canada controlling it behind the net. The puck comes back out, tipped to the point. Here we see Maxwell getting that shot low and through and on the net. That's what it's got to be. It's got to be through. The puck comes loose. Here we see Hickey just scooping it underneath the Swedish goaltender. Another look at it from the point. Nice low shot. You need that low shot going through. Here we see Hickey off the side, coming, bringing the puck from his skate, shooting it behind Astrom.
And the time of the goal, 17 minutes and 57 seconds of the second period. And it's Sweden leading 4-2. Salming goes after the puck for Sweden, trying to bring it out. Stopped at the blue line, but backhand the pass on the right side. Up to the line and over goes Eriksson. He's checked. Rolls into the corner, and Ribble covers up now for Canada. Ribble chased by Brasser. Then Salming tried to get a piece of him. Rolls up on the left side, and it hit the linesman. Is tied up there at the far side, and they finally get a whistle. This is the World Hockey Championship on CTV.
Colt 45 beer. Colt 45 beer right here.
I used to drink another brand of beer. Then I tried a great new Canadian beer, Colt 45. Now Colt's my beer. It was the taste that changed my mind. Look, give Colt 45 a try. Could just change your mind.
Now you tell me, isn't it the very best beer that you've ever tasted? Colt 45 beer.
1 minute and 28 seconds left in the second period. Sweden 4 and Canada 2. Puck taken by Shan, shoots it into the corner, and it's offside at the Swedish blue line. Lever, number 20, scored the first goal of the game for Canada. Then Anderson, Salming, Lindgren, and Ahlberg scored for Sweden before that goal by Hickey. Both teams are at full strength. Brasser lost the draw. The puck goes to Ribble. He shoots it into the corner. Waltin leaves it there for Salming. Salming coming out for Sweden. Checked and hauled down by Lever, but carrying on is Eriksson. Eriksson goes over the line with Lundberg into the corner and up over the glass, out of play. 1 minute exactly remaining in the second period. And Sweden going into this game with 4 victories and 1 loss. And that loss was 6-1 to the Soviet Union. Canada's record, 3 wins and 2 losses. And they trail this game 4-2. Marcel Dion at the Swedish line takes it over. He was stopped, and coming out is Anderson, number 23, fired it out to center. Going after it is Lundholm. He's checked. The puck's still loose, and Pronovo brings it over the line. Pronovo trying to set up Hickey. The puck rolls in front, and it's slapped off the boards right back to the Canadian blue line, and Hampton is back after it. 30 seconds left in the second period. Comes out on the far side to Hickey, to Marcel Dion, coming over the line. His shot, he scores! Marcel Dion. And the Canadian bench empty. That long shot eluded goaltender Hardy Astrom.
Well, Dion didn't make any mistakes with the shot. And of course, Marcel Dion is a good shooter and a very good goal scorer. And he used his wingers as a little bit of a decoy as he came over the blue line. He looked to them. Then he shot the puck very, very quickly and caught Astrom by surprise. Here we have the puck being dumped out of Team Canada's end. We see Dion, look at it, he looks to the side, then turns, shoots the puck low and to the stick side of Astrom. He took a little look. Here he takes a look again, just holds the defender in. The defender cheats a little to the wingers on the far side. The quick shot fools Astrom, and Team Canada's back in the hockey game.
And the time of the goal, 19 minutes and 38 seconds of the second period. Marcel Dion scoring his 8th goal of the championship. Back over the line, Waltin got to it. Puck taken by Kearns. His long shot goes wide. We have 15 seconds left. Into the corner, Murphy knocked against the boards by Salming. Comes back to the line. Kearns drive. And Astrom stops that. Back to Kearns. Lets it go. And it hit a player in front. And here comes Brazier back for Sweden. Over to Solming as the horn goes to end the second period of play. And Team Canada, after being down 4-1, struck back with 2 late goals by Hickey and Marcel Dionne.
Well, what a difference a few minutes make. It looked pretty bleak at the 17-11 mark when Alberg made it 4-1. But those last few minutes of the period, Team Canada came to life. Those goals by Hickey and Dionne, they're back in the hockey game, and Team Canada looks as if it has some life.
And Sweden leading 4-3. This is the World Hockey Championship on CTV.
There's a 1,000-acre experimental barley farm just outside of Copenhagen that is unique. And not because this little village lies within its boundaries or this 18th century church. This farm is owned by a brewery, the Carlsberg Brewery, a brewery dedicated to the good, natural way of brewing. People from all over the world work on the Carlsberg farm, including Will Sowers from Canada.
Hello, Carl.
And when they all get together, it's quite an occasion. One that naturally calls for the fresh, natural, glorious taste of a Carlsberg beer.
Cheers.
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 When we added a couple of extra doors to our little Chevy Chevette, we didn't anticipate a response like this.
Nice car, young man, but you're blocking the crosswalk. Oh, my. Come on, Archie. Good dog.
Hey, lots of room. And a radio, too. Yeah, well, standard equipment.
Build a better Chevette, and the world will beat a path through your doors.
We've got more fun under the sun with a good fun Chevrolet truck. We've got pickups and sport vans, Suburbans and Blazers, all kinds of trucks, both handsome and tough. We've got V8s and 6s and a new diesel pickup truck. Yeah, there's more fun under the sun with a good fun Chevrolet truck. Yeah, there's more fun under the sun with a good fun Chevrolet truck.
Well, Gary Younger is with me in the studio, and Gary, I don't mind telling you, there were a lot of very relieved Canadians all around in the studio here and outside in the stands when you came back from that 4-1 deficit and made it 4-3 before the end.
Well, I'll tell you, Bill, they had us scared for a while. It's really hot out there. We're trying to get going, but I think we've got to hit them a little bit more than we have been. We haven't been taking any cheap penalties, which is good, but we've got to lay the body on them a little bit more, and I think we can do that in the third.
You've been going kind of in fits and starts.
Well, like I say, it's very warm out there. We had a tough game against Czechoslovakia the other night. I know I'm a little bit tired from that one, but hopefully we're going. We have 4 lines. We can go with 4 lines, so hopefully we can come on strong in the third period. We've always been real strong in the third, so it should be good.
Gary, what are you doing differently in this game than you did in the 2 exhibition victories over Sweden?
Well, I think we're not forechecking them as much as we did. We've kind of got away from our forechecking style because they've been handling the puck so well. I think we're giving them a chance to handle the puck a little bit more. I think we have to hang on to it ourselves a little bit more. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a different type of a game. In our game, it's boom, 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 pass the puck real quick. Here, you've got time. The ice surface is so big that you've got time to circle a little bit, take a look, and that's what they do, and they break that guy up the middle, and they've had a couple breakaways on it. We've got to stop that.
Well, I find it very interesting that you think you got to hit it a little harder and start putting a bit of fear in them, because I think you do.
Well, I think so. That's part of the game.
Okay, thank you very much, Gary Younger. This is World Hockey Championship from CTV.
I've been driving for Carling O'Keefe now for the last 6 years. Driving a truck doesn't make me an expert on beer, but being around Carling O'Keefe sure has taught me a lot. For instance, this load I'm hauling is a result of a lot of good things. Take the ingredients that go into it. Carling O'Keefe try to buy the best hops, malt, and barley available. Then, too, there are the people who brew our beer. They're proud of their work. And when it comes to brewmasters, guys like Bob are tops. Their word is it. No compromises, no shortcuts. Good beer takes time and attention. They make sure it gets both and plenty of it. Me, I just make sure that whatever brand of Carling O'Keefe beer you buy, it gets to you fresh. It all comes down to one thing. The best to you from the people at Carling O'Keefe.
Well, we're joining the full network now, TVA and Jacques Moreau and Al Eagleson, who's in the middle of us, and we're going to try to put a few items at Eagle. First of all, the fact that we're going to have a real highlight because we're going to have all-star hockey, Soviet Union and Canada next year.
It's going to be a great event, Bill, at the press conference this past week with John Ziegler, who flew over for it, and the Soviet Union representatives. We decided to finalize the details on a 3-game all-star week, NHL All-Stars versus the Soviet All-Stars on the 8th, 10th, and 11th of February. So it should be a great event.
Should be.
Et mon ami, comme je vous ai indiqué à la conférence de presse, nous avons conclu avec les Soviétiques une série entre les Soviétiques, les Étoiles et les Étoiles de la Ligue nationale de hockey dans le mois de février l'année prochaine, le 8e, le 10e et le 11e.
Maître Eagleson, une autre question. Si le Canada ne remportait pas les succès escomptés au championnat du monde, est-ce qu'on reviserait la position du Canada à participer au championnat du monde contre une participation à la Coupe Canada?
Non, je pense qu'il est nécessaire de participer à la Coupe les championnats du monde de la Fédération internationale de hockey sur glace si on veut la Coupe Canada. Et je pense que nous sommes sur le précipice de notre Coupe Canada probablement après 18 mois.
Alors, si vous voulez traduire pour notre ami Bill.
What I was saying,
I was enjoying it. Jacques, did you ask Eagle if it might take place in Montreal if they can't make a deal in New York, which I hope?
No, what Jacques
Not really. That's the next question.
We're talking about the All-Stars, and if that comes, should we get out of World Championship hockey if our team doesn't do well? Mm-hmm. I think we have to come over here and take our lumps with a young team. We've got to be a little more aggressive, as Gary said, and I think if we command the respect of the European countries, they'll participate and cooperate in all international hockey futures. But if we want a Canada Cup, we've got to play in Moscow.
Well, Jacques and Eagle, you've both been around international hockey for a long time. Have you ever seen a bench-clearing brawl with sticks dropped and fists thrown as we saw in the Czechoslovakia-Russia game?
Not except when Canada was playing. First time. In fact, dans la reprise, ils ont indiqué un Soviétique comme cela contre un Tchécoslovaque. Et puis, un instant depuis, un Tchéco comme ceci, contre le Soviétique, j'ai pensé que nous étions sur le précipice de la guerre mondiale troisième.
And he had a 5-minute penalty.
Oh, yeah. Again, the big problem, le sujet des arbitres, the problem of refereeing, is the biggest thing in international hockey. A great, great hockey game spoiled by a referee.
That's right.
Le quatrième bout de la Czechoslovakie was offside, and next thing we know, a 5-minute penalty, the game's over.
Okay, thank you very much, Al Eagleson, Jacques Moreau, and this is World Cup Hockey Championship from CTV.
A year ago, Chevrolet announced a great idea. We took the big car concept and made it into a sensible size for today's world. But we gave you more front and rear seat headroom, more rear seat legroom, more trunk space in a quieter, full-size Chevrolet. And you made it a roaring success. Chevrolet for 78. That's much more like it.
For over 100 years, the Carlsberg Brewery in Copenhagen has led the way in advancing the skills of brewing, and the whole world has shared in their knowledge. 130 of the world's finest technicians are employed in the Carlsberg Research Laboratory, including Brian Martin from Canada.
Hi, Brian. Do you want to come for a beer?
And after work, it's the same here as back home in Canada.
Hi, Brian. Hello, Carl. Cheers. Cheers.
You know, there's been so much talk about Canadian hooliganism on ice that we, and by saying we, I mean the Canadians, have forgotten the fact that our game is to hit. And that means hit cleanly, not to play dirty. This is one thing that the players are afraid of, and it's one of the reasons they're having trouble in this tournament. That is that they're not hitting. They're not stopping them with good body checks. They're not taking them out of the play. And they can do this without getting penalties. And I think that in this final period, if they're to come back, mind you, they trail only by 1 goal, they've got to use the body. And as you heard Gary Unger say, he feels they've got to hit more also. So it's the fact that it's very difficult to tell players, be cautious out there, take it easy. And so they go out and play the European style, but unfortunately forget the North American style. And that is what they must have. They've got to take the man out, they've got to hit solid body checks, and at the same time, of course, keep away from the hooligan play. And by the way, the Czech-Russian game, which we have referred to because it was such a great contest, the Czechs won it by the score of 6-4, was a very hard-hitting contest by both teams all the way throughout the 60 minutes of play. Well, in this one, it was Team Canada, apparently out of it, trailing 4-1, and then showing tremendous determination and grit, and coming back and scoring 2 quick goals toward the end of the first period as the result. Making it a 4-3 game. I said first period, of course, it was the second period when they came back with those 2 quick goals. So now, there is no doubt they should have the impetus. They should have everything going for them as they try to come back in the final period of play. And now let's go upstairs to Bernie and Tom.
Well, there was one of the stops in that period by Hardy Astrom, the goaltender for Sweden.
Well, it was an interesting period. Here we see Ahlberg just breaking in, coming off the bench, and the quick change, and almost putting the puck behind the Team Canada goaltender to go ahead 2-1. The score is still 1-1 at this point in the hockey game. Here we have a point shot that's saved by Astrom and gloving the puck. But here is the first Swedish goal of the period, and there's not much you can do about that. When you lose the face-off and the puck comes straight back and the man shoots it right in the net from the point, you can't stop plays like that. It's important. Here's there's Astrom putting a stick over top, being a little careless with the puck, but falling on it before Pronovo puts it behind him. Here's the breakaway, the long great pass by Salming to Eriksson. Eriksson tries to hold the goaltender just a little longer so he can put the puck over him. But you see Heron just diving across, getting part of the puck with his stick and with his glove.
Just a great save, too, Tom, by Dennis Heron.
Well, here's the power play goal.
Picture trouble is temporary. Please do not adjust your set.
That's the far corner, and it beats Heron. Here we have the puck being moved over. Now, this is what people are talking about. Zetterstrom moved right between the Canadian defense. Nobody laid a hand on him. Nobody played his body. They both looked at the puck, and Ahlberg comes through for an easy goal. Now, here we have Team Canada coming back. The puck comes back to the point. The shot gets right through. We have Maxwell putting the puck right through. It's stopped by Astrom. Hickey picking up the rebound and firing it behind. And these were very important goals for Team Canada. They were trailing 4-1 at that point, come to 4-2. Here's Marcel Dion. He looks to his right. We have Pronovo and the defenseman moving into the side, but the shot was low into the corner of the net on Astrom.
And greeted there by the mascot of the World Hockey Championships. A complete resume there of the second period, and regretfully we're experiencing video and audio problems in this origination and the feed to Canada from Prague, Czechoslovakia. There you see the score. Sweden leading Canada by a score of 4-3. Hickey, Dion, and Lever have scored the goals for Team Canada. Anderson, Lindgren, Ahlberg, and Salming have scored for Sweden. Let's rejoin our host, Phil Stevenson.
All right, thank you very much, Bernie and Tom. I don't have to introduce this fellow. Johnny Esau is with me, and Johnny, I know that you've been going back and forth from the studio to the game out there and have been frustrated and exhilarated.
Well, I've been frustrated by some of the opportunities that the Canadians had in the first period, and great saves by Astrom, just as he robbed them last year. That seemed to take some of the spark out of them. After that, they were coasting in the last 10 minutes of the first period. Bounced back. Looked like they're going to be all right in the start of the second period. Went into this dive. Suddenly they're down 4-1. And as you said, we should have the impetus coming into this third period because of those last 2 goals. But it's been frustrating between here and the bench, I'll tell you.
I can believe it. Well, Gary Ungers, he stated, too, and something I had not realized, they're still suffering the effects from that Czechoslovakian game. I didn't realize it took that much out of them.
Well, I've been sitting out there right behind the bench, and I'll tell you, it is so hot. You think it's hot in the studio here under these lights. You should be behind that bench. It's just pouring off them, but it's the same for both teams. But these kids have not played together that long. They're not used to the big ice surface. They're not used to the penalty of the pressure that they must learn somehow, and they only learn it by doing. and they're learning it. At times they look like they found it. At other times they seem to go back to a position where they're afraid to be caught. They're afraid to do this, afraid to do that. It's been laid on them so many times.
You know, John, you are never going to get 23 or 24 players who have not played together and turn them into a fine, cohesive team in the space of 10 days or 2 weeks, especially when you're telling them play differently than you do at home. I think that we have to forget, quite frankly, all this stuff that is being taught and preached about play differently. We've got to play the way we do at home.
Well, I think that's true, but they've been told to play the way they do at home, but not to lay the body on, because most of it, we're lucky. We've got a good official out there today. He's letting it go. He knows what's a hit and what isn't a hit. There are some officials in this tournament who do not know the difference between a body check and what is called interference, or they have all sorts of calls that are unbelievable.
Yeah, you bring out a very good point, and that is Al Eagleson was telling me the other day that he thinks he's got the Russians to the point where they'll take at least one, maybe two National League officials for the World Championships in ’79. That could make a difference, allowing Canada to return to their type of play. Now, I don't mean dirty play. I mean just good, rough, tough hockey.
People it's such a misnomer, this Canadian play being dirty play. Canadian's a good, tough, physical hockey game. I never saw a rougher, tougher hockey game, as you pointed out, with the Czechs and the Russians this afternoon. As rough as anything we've ever seen in the National Hockey League on some of their wildest nights. Not any worse than this. And so what we're talking about, this being European hockey and ours being Canadian hockey, it's one world.
I'll tell you something. I have not seen a more poorly officiated game than the one done by Sepinen either in that Russia-Czech game.
Yeah.
Just one.
He was a patsy.
Yeah, just one incident, and that is a player fell. It was all tied up 3-3. The official did not see the play. He had the linesman talk to him. The linesman said, okay, it's a 5-minute penalty, so they gave him a 5-minute penalty. They gave it to the wrong player, turned the whole game around. Now they're out on the ice, so let's go upstairs to Tom and Bernie.
Right, Bill, and thank you, Johnny Esau and Bill Stevenson. And the two teams back on the ice. Hardy Astrom in goal. And Augusta, the backup goaltender, offering a little encouragement. And Team Canada doing likewise at the opposite end, goaltender Dennis Herron.
It's interesting in Europe here, the backup goaltender, not only is Augusta offering encouragement, but he's moving around in that crease, helping the goaltender get a lot of snow in there and take that glaze off the ice so they'll feel a little more comfortable in this crease. But he helps the goaltender as well as giving him a little pat in the back.
And the score as we start the third period of play, Sweden 4 and Canada 3. The referee for the game is Ken Pierce of the United States. Yuri Smirnov and Lassi Van Hanen of Finland are the two linesmen. Dennis Herron in goal has made several outstanding saves, including a breakaway earlier in the game, robbing Roland Eriksson, as we saw on the highlights. We're ready to go now for the start of the third period. Alberg, Brasser, and Eriksson starting out for Sweden. Gary Younger, McMillan, and number 18, of course, Murphy for Canada. Puck is cleared over for Murphy, shoots it into the corner. Unger goes in after it, passes back to McMillan, lets it go, and scores! Canada ties it up. And the Canadian bench empties. That shot by McMillan somehow eluded goaltender Astrom.
Well, it was deflected in front of the net. Here we see, after only 13 seconds, a quick pass, the deflection moved over to the line, into the corner, in the Swedish end. Here we see Unger back for the puck, makes the quick little drop pass. There's the shot. It's tipped off the Swedish defender's stick just inside the dot and changes direction and goes behind Astrom. Here's the shot, hits the defender's stick. There we see it, hits another stick in front of the net and rolls behind Astrom. But that's what we need to get back in the hockey game. Now we have a new hockey game with 13 seconds gone only in this third period.
Well, parked in front as well was Murphy. He might have got his stick on it. We'll wait for the official announcement, but the time of the goal, 13 seconds of the third period. And it's a 4-4 tie. Back comes Canada. Marcel Dion comes over the line, stops. Takes a shot that goes wide, comes to Pronovo, back to Hickey, lets it go, scores! Hickey! And it's 5-4 for Canada.
Well, what a turn of events this is. So 34 seconds, first McMillan and then Hickey coming back to give Team Canada the lead 5-4. Here again, the same shift. We haven't made the change. Here we have Dion moving it over top. The puck goes in deep. Here we have the puck just deflected behind the net. Watch Hickey come out from behind, makes a little spinorama, tucks it up. Astrom doesn't hug the post as quickly as he can, and the puck just drops behind him. He actually kicks it with his skate, coming across trying to hug the post. Here's the little pass to the side. Hickey the spinorama, shovels it up. Astrom comes away. It's not behind. There you can see it. And then he kicks it as he goes down with the back of his pad and his skates, dropping it in behind him. But Astrom not too quick, moving to the far post.
And the time of the goal, 34 seconds of the third period. Hickey's second of the game. Hickey's into the corner. Marcel Dion is checked. And Hickey goes over as well, and they hold it there along with Asling of Sweden. And we get another whistle, this time the face-off in the Swedish zone.
Well, one thing hockey people always say is you never like to give up a goal in the last minute of any period or the hockey game. 1938, Dion getting that third goal, and then here early, that's turned things around, and Team Canada's come out very quickly in this period.
And Sharpley's at center now for Canada, gets it back to Lever, and Astrom had trouble with that. Paymont in the corner. Right in front, comes back to Picard. Picard gets a shot deflected, and it just goes over the top of the net. Asling tried to get a piece of it. Taken in front, Paymont trying to set it up to Sharpley. There's another shot, and it's knocked down the drive, and it's held onto by Hardy Astrom. As the action really opens up, we've played only a minute and 8 seconds of the third period. Canada 5. And Sweden 4.
Well, Team Canada's come out very, very quickly. The 2 goals, not only that, the Swedish team seems to be reeling. Here we have the action in front. The puck is deflected back. The puck's getting through. Team Canada crowding in front of the net, giving those defenders a hard time. Astrom having difficulty seeing the puck. But Team Canada came within inches of getting their third goal early in the third period. Here it comes through the second time. Look at all that traffic in front of Astrom, but he holds onto the puck and prevents the third goal early in this period.
Following this game live on CTV, we'll bring you the Kentucky Derby following this game between Canada and Sweden. And they didn't drop the puck fairly. The players moving into the face-off circle before it was dropped. And we're ready to go again. Canada 5 and Sweden 4. Puck rolls in front of the net, stopped there by Waltine. Got a pass ahead to Eriksson. He lost it, and that shot went wide. Kept in at the blue line by Dennis Kearns. Into the corner. Dumped out. Alberg got it out to center ice, but bringing it right back in is Brad Maxwell. Into the corner, and that weak shot was stopped by Hardy Astrom. Backhanded to Gary Unger. Unger tries to get it to Murphy, but he's held against the boards by Stig Solman. Monday on CTV, we'll bring you the game between Canada and the Soviet Union. Gary Unger going off on a line change. And the face-off in the Swedish zone to the right of goaltender Astrom. Marcel Dion, Pronovo, and Hickey. Hickey has scored 2 goals in this game for Canada, including the go-ahead goal at the 34-second mark of this period. Off the boards and coming back now. Sweden on the attack. Lindholm goes over the line. Passes in front. There's a shot, and what a save by Heron as he got his stick on that drive. And the puck rolls right back to the Swedish blue line. And we've reached the 2-minute mark here in the third period. Marcel Dion. Watched there by Rolf Edberg. Gets away from him. Shoots it in. Pat Hickey goes in after it. Tries to get it in front, scooped up and held onto by Astrom. This is the World Hockey Championship on CTV.
We work together. I dig the holes, and I fill them back in. And after a hard day of digging and filling, we like a light beer. Highlight. It tastes less filling. It's brewed like regular beer, so it tastes good. It has a little less than 70 calories in a bottle. I'll fill it in. I'll dig it.
Highlight, a great light beer for all kinds of reasons.
Ready now for the face-off. Sharpley's out there with Lever and Paymont for Canada. Sweden trailing by a score of 5-4. Canada with 2 quick goals here in the third period. McMillan and Hickey giving Canada that 5-4 lead. After the puck goes Lindblom, number 7. He's checked, but Swedish team comes up with the puck at center ice. Coming over the line is Olsen, and he was stopped by Picard. Rolls over to the far side. Paymont is checked. Got the puck to Lever. Lever to Hampton. Hampton coming over the line. And goes back after the loose puck. Knocked against the board. Slapping away. Olsen got it out to center. And it's taken by number 24, Gradin. Gradin's over the line. But it's offside at the Team Canada blue line. And with all the whistling in here, Tom, it's impossible to hear the whistles on the ice.
Well, here you see the offside. It just comes, and there you see Holmgren trying to stay onside. Whoops, grab that line. You may get that other leg over, but it's brought over, and Holmgren is inside, but he tried to get back and lost his balance.
What a beautiful day in Prague. During the morning and early afternoon, the temperature had to be close to 70, but it's raining at the present time. It's 9:30 p.m. here in Prague, and a capacity crowd enjoying this game, and we hope you are as well on the full CTV network. Puck cleared at the center line. Coming back for Canada is Mike Murphy, shoots it in. Unger goes in after it, couldn't get to it. McMillan bumped into the Swedish defenseman, and the puck comes to Dennis Kearns. Kearns trying to set up McMillan. There to check him was Salming, and they shoot it out to center ice. Delayed offside at the Swedish blue line.
Well, early in this period, Team Canada, and you heard Gary Unger say they had to play more physically. They've been checking very aggressively, forechecking, trying to make the Swedish defenders cough the puck up. And they've been doing that, and then once they cough it up, everybody goes to the net. Get in front of that net, screen the goaltender, cause confusion. Maybe get that tip in, you may get the deflection, and they've come ahead in this third period.
And we played 3 minutes and 30 seconds in the third period. Puck rolls into the Swedish line. Salming in front of his own goal. Watched by Gary Unger. Salming, the older brother of the Salming family. Borey, of course, with the Toronto Maple Leafs. McMillan is dumped. There'll be a penalty to Sweden. Kearns has the puck, and the whistle is blown. Heron got as far as the bench, but the extra forward couldn't get on before the whistle had gone. And the penalty to Brazer, who plays in the NHL with Minnesota.
Well, here we see the trip. Here we see McMillan moving in. Brazer getting in front. Whoops. Takes the legs right out from under him. And that's the second Swedish penalty of the game. Team Canada having the power play.
And during the NHL season, Brazer had just 6 minutes in penalties in the entire season. Played 77 games, in fact, with Minnesota, but there's no question there. He hauled down McMillan. Time of the penalty, 3 minutes and 47 seconds. Canada 5 and Sweden 4. Marcel Dion has scored one of the goals today, his 8th of the championship.
It's interesting to see, too, Harry Howell with the lead in the hockey game has put Marcel Dion back. He was using Dennis Merck on the power play, but he has 2 defensemen now on the points, wanting to protect that lead, and Dion back at forward.
Comes back to Hickey, to Picard. Picard returns the pass to Hickey. Dion is parked at the side of the net, takes the pass, backhander in front. There's a shot, and what a great save by Hardy Astrom. Puck slapped away in front. Astrom reaching for it. Dion kicking away. It's knocked into the net, but I believe the whistle had gone as they were kicking and slapping away at it. But what a save Astrom made there as he reached up into the yawning net and knocked down that shot.
Reached, he just dove across the net because Dion made a neat little move coming from the side. Did a little spinorama, threw it to the far side. Pronovo shot all in one motion. Here we say Dion, just the spin. Pronovo doesn't waste any time, and you see Astrom diving right across the net to get his glove on the puck, but Team Canada very dangerous. Here's that. Now everybody is crowding the net. Here's everybody crowding the net. Push, shove, whoop, put Astrom, the puck, and everything else in the net.
And we've played 4 minutes and 6 seconds in the third period. Canada 5, Sweden 4. Back to Hampton. Off the boards to Pronovo. Behind the net. Here's Dion parked in front. Hickey takes it back in behind the net. Being chased by Waltine. Gets it back to the line. Hampton off the boards to Pronovo. Pronovo is checked. And the Swedes get it down the ice right back into the Canadian zone. 1 minute and 17 seconds left in the penalty to Brazer. Off the boards. Paymont is checked. Backhands it around the boards to Picard. Picard winding up. Canada on the power play. Hickey, Dion, and Pronovo breaking for the blue line, but the puck was knocked down by number 16, Max Alberg. Hampton has it at center to Dion. Alberg intercepts that. Drops it back to Waltine, over to Stig Salming. And Salming off the boards into the Canadian zone. And back in behind his own goal and winding up for Canada is Don Lever. Lever at the Swedish line, takes it over the line, moving towards the goal. His backhand shot, and that was knocked down by the defenseman Lindgren in front of the net. Then Lever is dumped. Puck goes into the corner. Paymont goes after it. Marcel Dion behind the net. He's checked, knocked down. The puck goes loose. 18 seconds left in the penalty. Puck rolls in front to Paymont. Back to Marcel Dion. Back to Paymont. He's checked by Salming. Salming has lost his stick. Lever gets it back. Maxwell shot, and that's high and over the top of the net. Kearns keeps it in. 3 seconds left in the penalty. Comes back to Maxwell. Lets it go. He scores! Maxwell. And it's 6-4 for Canada.
Well, it's not often you get the second chance on the power play. We saw Maxwell, the first shot that he had. He drilled high, wide, and handsome over the net. But the puck came back, and that second shot, he made no mistake. Just like in the goal at the end of the second period that Hickey had, he kept that puck low, and it got through. And it's those low shots that get through from the point that give the trouble. Here's the first shot coming through, high, wide, over the net. Comes all the way around again, off the net. There we see Dennis Kearns keeping the puck in. Moves the puck back to Shan. Now, Maxwell the second time keeps the puck much lower and gets the opportunity. There's Dennis Kearns again, throwing it back. Maxwell, nice low shot this time, right into the corner on the stick side of Astrom.
And Maxwell, the former New Westminster Bruin junior who played on the Memorial Cup champion team last year, scores the 6th Canada goal. And the New Westminster Bruins again representing the West this year in the Memorial Cup, and the championship game will be carried on CTV. There's a replay on that shot by Maxwell at 5 minutes and 48 seconds of the third period. And the live action, the puck taken back to Lysiak. He's bumped off the boards by Eriksson. Puck goes into the Swedish zone, and Canada is really rallied. Lever got a shot. Lysiak goes in after it. Back to the line, kept in by Ribble. Bouncing puck in front. Lever attempted to get a shot away. He was stopped. Goes after the puck. Edberg has lost his stick. Puck rolls into the corner. And they finally dump it out to center ice. Canada 6 and Sweden 4. And we played 6 minutes and 25 seconds in the third period. Alberg. Along with Lundholm, we get a whistle. This is the World Hockey Championship on CTV.
These are my new salesmen, and we all drink High Life. Right, boys?
Right. I'll tell you what's great about High Life. It's brewed like regular beer, so it tastes good.
Good point. And it also tastes less filling. High Life has a little less than 70 calories in a bottle.
Boys, you've sold me. High Life's a great light beer, and that was such a great sales job, I'm going to double your monthly quota.
High Light, a great light beer for all kinds of reasons.
Ready to go now. The puck is dropped. Pronovo got it back to Hampton, and his backhand shot goes into the Swedish zone, but it's on the delayed offside. There's Lindblom, number 7 for Sweden.
And you have to believe in momentum in sport, with Team Canada scoring 5 straight goals here, coming on very, very hard, and the Swedish team reeling and not being able to mount much attack in this third period.
And Picard shoots it in. Another delayed offside brought out by Sweden. Dumped it out to center ice. Number 19, Norberg, is out there for the first time. Had it momentarily. He was checked. Lindblom now will try. Lindblom, a pass on the left side over the line. Gradin back to Lindblom. And his shot was knocked down by the defense in front of Dennis Herron. And we've reached the 7-minute and 4-second mark here in the third period. And Tom, mentioning Lindblom, he was telling me at the practice today, as we were chatting with Hardy Astrom, that he wants to play in the National Hockey League. And he says that he has been chatting with the Chicago Blackhawks and with Bobby Pulford, the general manager, due in very shortly perhaps Lindblom will find a pro contract with Chicago.
And who else besides Bob Pulford is coming?
The famous number 4.
Bobby Orr.
And here it's Canada 6 and Sweden 4. Sweden at one point in the second period led 4-1. But Canada has really rallied, and with 2 quick goals here in the third have taken a 2-goal lead. Goals by McMillan and Hickey within 34 seconds, and then the goal by Maxwell at 5:48. Puck rolls into the corner, comes back to Dennis Kearns. Kearns shot it in, stopped by Stig Salming. Got it ahead. Waltine comes over the line, and he stops. Puck rolls over to the far side. Lundberg had it momentarily, and it's at center ice, passed over to Salming. Salming's over the Canadian line. Drops it back. Eriksson had it. Got it back to Salming. Salming is checked by Gary Unger on the delayed offside. And Unger says that playing in the World Hockey Championship is his biggest thrill. He says, of my entire NHL career, 803 consecutive games, he said playing over here has been the biggest thrill of my NHL career. And he says, especially at the end of the game when they play the national anthem when we win.
Well, there we see Stig Salming, Borja's older brother, and you wonder sometimes why he isn't in the National Hockey League, because I think he's the most consistent defender for the Swedish national team.
Stig Salming is 30 years of age and a professional engineer in Sweden. And as you mentioned, Tom, a very valuable member defensively for the Swedish team. Puck at the side of the net, taken in behind by Lundholm, gets it back to the point. That shot is knocked down. Lever goes after it, being chased there by Anderson, number 23, and it rolls out to center. And Sweden comes right back in. Lindgren off the boards into the Canadian zone. Back after it is David Shand around on the right side to Glenn Sharpley. Sharpley couldn't reach the pass. Sweden's up with it. A pass back to Anderson, number 23. Anderson moving towards the side of the goal, and that deflection stopped by Heron. Paymont clears it ahead to Sharpley. Sharpley tries to get the pass over to Lever. That failed to click as Sharpley bumped with Lars Lindgren. Winding up now is Anderson. Anderson for Sweden. Checked by Lever. Sharpley steals the puck. Up with Pronovo. Over the line. Sharpley, and Pronovo is offside on right wing. You know, we'd like to convey our thanks to Carling O'Keefe for their sponsorship of Team Canada and these telecasts on the full CTV network. The support and cooperation of Carling O'Keefe has been a big boost to Team Canada and Canadian hockey fans, and we thank them. Canada 6 and Sweden 4. 8 minutes and 58 seconds have been played in the third period. Sweden coming back over the line. There's a shot, and that's held onto by Dennis Heron. Along with host Bill Stevenson, analyst Tom Watt, this is Bernie Pascal live from Prague, Czechoslovakia. And we've played 9 minutes and 4 seconds of the third period. Monday on CTV, we'll bring you the game between Canada and the Soviet Union. Puck goes off the boards around to Pronovo. Pronovo tries to dump it out. He's checked. And now Rick Hampton will try. He falls down. Here's a chance for Sweden moving towards the goal. A shot, they score! Gradin. Gradin stealing the puck, and he scores for Sweden.
Well, Sweden getting back in the hockey game again, but Team Canada's defense, now Gary Unger said it, they have to play the body, but when you let a hockey player move in like that, make 2 moves in front of your own net, looking at the puck without playing the body, you're in for a lot of trouble. And you see Lundberg going off there, coming back, the Swedish team coming to within a goal. But here the wheel is in front of the net. There's the one little move. The defender turns off. There's the other little move between the legs. Looks at the puck again. There's Gradin making a quick shot. And Sweden is back in the game 6-5. The 2 Team Canada defenders turned off. Here he is wheeling again. There's the first one on Picard. Moving back. Whoops, between the legs. Don't look at that puck. Bringing the puck high on Dennis Heron, the glove side.
And back to the live action. Gary Unger comes over the line. A pass to McMillan. Lets it go. The rebound. And Hardy Astrom covers up. The time of that last goal, Gradin scoring for Sweden at 9 minutes and 19 seconds of this third period. Face-off to the left of Astrom. McMillan's shot on the replay, and the rebound covered up by Hardy Astrom. Both teams are at full strength. Unger, number 7, ready for the face-off. The referee for this game is Ken Pierce of the United States. Puck rolls into the corner. Taken there by number 12, Roland Erickson. Drops it back in behind his own net. Then is checked. McMillan slaps it in front for Unger, and it's cleared away from him. Off the boards, back to the line. And heading into the final seconds of the first half, this is the World Hockey Championship with 4 seconds left, and Canada leading by a score of 6-5. And we have 4 seconds remaining before the teams change ends here in the third period.
Well, there was Sweden getting a little careless, not picking up the puck. Astor making a good glove save, going to his knees with a good quick shot from the top of the slot.
And the face-off here again to the left of Hardy Astrom. Anderson, who has scored one of the goals for Sweden. That was back in the first period, giving Sweden at that point a 1-1 tie. Ready now to drop the puck. Canada trying to make a change, and the referee says no, Unger has got to get back into the play. So Lever goes off and Unger remains out there.
4 seconds. Do you take your goalie out?
Ready now for the face-off. The puck is dropped, rolls in front, and this is the World Hockey Championship on CTV.
The people who bring you the sporty Sunbird and Firebird have also packed a lot of fun into Acadian. For 78, standard features include 1.6-liter overhead cam engine, 4 on the floor, hatchback, center console, AM radio, white wall tires, and a whole lot more. Pontiac Acadian, and check out the new 4-door.
You got it, Pontiac.
Nobody's got it like Pontiac. Pontiac's got it.
Midsize Buick Century, the contemporary alternative in family transportation.
A little science.
A totally new interpretation of function in a family car, beautifully expressed in the Buick tradition.
A little magic.
Simplicity of lines redefined in size for an ease of maneuverability in city traffic, with abundant space for passenger comfort, even more leg and headroom than last year.
It's what we need.
It's what they want.
The new midsize Century, a Buick like you've never seen before.
And we're ready to go for the final 10 minutes of the third period. Canada 6 and Sweden 5. Edberg and along with line mates Lundholm and Anderson ready to start. Puck rolls into the Canadian zone, and backboard is number 4, Dennis Kearns. Kearns of Canada being chased there by Edberg. Gets the pass out to center. Lever shoots it in wide of the Swedish goal. In after it is Paymont, and it's taken by Lundholm, number 17. Drops it behind his own net. A pass over to Zetterstrom, got out to center ice. He was stopped. Going after it is Lundholm. Checked by Lever. Paymont takes it in on left wing. He's dumped. And bringing it back now, Zetterstrom for Sweden to the Canadian line. Had it knocked off his stick. Checked by Paymont. The puck rolls into the corner. Lundholm tried to slap away at it. It goes to Ahlberg. Back to the line. Paymont has it at center. He was stopped. Lindgren got it over. There's a chance. A shot stopped by goaltender Dennis Heron. Paymont just clears it out to center ice. Don Lever goes after it. Couldn't get to it. Lindgren brings it back out now for Sweden. Ostling, number 3, out there now. Puck rolls in behind the net. Backboard dribble for Canada. He's checked against the board. Puck goes to the side, in behind the net. A chance for Gradin. Tried to get it out in front, and he was checked. Canada 6 and Sweden 5. And this is icing against Canada as they fire it over the 3 lines. Icing. 11 minutes and 31 seconds have been played in the third period. Canada at one point trailed 4-1.
There we saw the Swedish bench and the trainer giving them lots of fluids. One thing about the Swedish national team, they really believe in replacing the fluids in the course of workouts and during a game, and they let the players have all the fluid they like. That's very important to them.
Marcel Dion won that face-off. It came back to Wassling. His shot goes wide. On the far side, Lundberg has it. Taken against the boards by Pat Ribble. Now Dion swings out to center. Tried to get the pass over to Pronovo. He was checked. And it shot right back into the Canadian zone. Lundberg fired it in. Going in after it is Gradin, number 24. And the Canadians again just slap it off the boards, and they're called for icing with 8 minutes remaining in the game.
Well, that's the second time in the last minute the Team Canada's been guilty of icing the puck, but when they get a little confused in their own zone, hang on to a one-goal lead, they rather not take the chance of making a poor pass. They're putting the puck hard off the boards and out. If nobody is there to break behind to pick it up, it goes for icing, but they're getting it out quickly.
And a reminder, following this game, which is coming to you live from Prague, following the game, we'll have the Kentucky Derby live on CTV. So stay tuned. The big sports day on the full CTV network. Face-off is to the right of Heron. Both teams are at full strength. Puck is dropped, comes back to the line. There's a shot right to Heron, and he holds on again as Walton let it go. Many call him Walton.
Well, Walton, but there we see Dennis Heron. But what I'm surprised at is Sweden, Brassard especially. You see where Salming is lined up. He scored a goal from this point, and Brassard has been winning faceoffs consistently from Team Canada members. And in past World Championships and international play, usually the Canadians do very, very well at winning that draw and gaining possession. And but in this hockey game, Brassard has won many faceoffs, and of course one resulted in a goal where he brought it right back to Salming, and Salming shot and scored directly from the point. So it's been very important, but I'm surprised at how adept Brassard is at winning that puck.
I thought when I said Walton, Tom, you'd refer to Shaky. Michael Shaky Walton, a member of the Vancouver Canucks. Ready to go. The puck is dropped. Third back to the line to Hampton. And now McMillan tries to get it out. Got it to the blue line, but that was about it. Into the corner goes Roland Erickson. Clears it in front. And covering up is Picard off the boards to Murphy. Murphy brings it out. Out at center ice. Hampton pass to McMillan on the right side. McMillan gets a shot away. Stopped by Astrom. And he ran into the Canadian player Murphy. Or Murphy ran into him. Puck is taken by Unger. Unger into the corner, slaps it in front. This went sailing through the goaltending area and comes out now to Brassard, number 22. He's watched by McMillan. Takes it to the Canadian line, couldn't get it over. And a reminder, this is the World Hockey Championship on CTV.
Meet two of the best boxers in town. Hey, me and my boys, we drink Highlight. Now, my heavyweight Louis here, he drinks it because it's brewed like a regular beer. Handsome Danny, well, he drinks it because it tastes less filling. Highlight has less than 70 calories a bottle. But when it comes to taste, Highlight is a champion.
Keep my Highlight, a great light beer for all kinds of reasons.
And back to the live action. The puck taken by Brad Maxwell. Tried to get it over to Kearns. He was checked. And getting a shot away there was Edberg, and it just went wide. Edberg goes into the corner after it. Chased by Lever. And they pin it against the boards, and we get a whistle. Following this game, we go to the Kentucky Derby from Churchill Downs, the 104th running of the Kentucky Derby. Following this game on the full CTV network. And we played 13 minutes and 5 seconds here in the third period. Slapped around the boards to Dennis Kearns. Kearns ahead to Payma. He's checked, gets it out to center ice. Sharpley is spun around, and bringing it back is Lundholm. Lundholm, number 17, to the Canadian line. Going in with Edberg. Edberg into the corner, slaps it, hits the back of the net, and Lever takes it for Canada. And we have a penalty coming up as referee Ken Pierce heads over to the penalty box.
Well, there we see Sharpley going into the box. The referee indicated a misconduct penalty, I believe, when he went in. I don't know how that happened because he wasn't involved in the play. When the play went into the corner, Paymont took his man in, playing the man as he should in his own zone. and perhaps Sharpley said something to the official, but he was put to the box, and it's indicated on the board that it is a 10-minute misconduct.
And the time of the penalty, 13 minutes and 29 seconds here in the third period.
14, Sharpley, 10 minutes misconduct.
Face-off will be to the left of Dennis Herron. Great deal of interest in Team Canada. They've had many exciting games in European hockey over the years. And this one is one in that category as they lead 6-5. Puck rolls into the corner, backhand in front. Going after it is Gradin, number 24. He's checked by Ribble and knocked down. Marcel Dion brings it out for Canada. Pass on the left side to Pat Hickey, going in with Pronovo. Over to Dion, slapped it over the line. But it's called on the offside by linesman Van Hanen of Finland.
Well, one thing about Sharpley going to the box, certainly Harry Howell has no shortage of centers to take his place for the last 6 minutes of the hockey game. With Sharpley being in the box, he has that center line of Lysiak, Sharon, and Marouk, so probably one of those three will take his place at center on that line.
And Stig Osling has the puck now for Sweden. Number 3 coming out, passes on the left side. This is Gradin over the line, breaking for the goal. Herron comes out and smothers the puck and holds on. Gradin moving in there. Our first telecast originating from Prague, Czechoslovakia against the United States. The audience was 69% of the television viewing audience that night. More than 2 million people. A lot of interest in Team Canada. And the puck stopped there at center ice, cleared over the line. Going after it is Gradin. He stopped. And carrying on for Canada is Hickey. Hickey gets it back to Pronovo. He's spun around. And winding up now behind his own goal is Lundberg. Pass on the right side to Lindblom. Lindblom's pass on the left wing side to Gradin. Knocked off the play, and Pronovo slaps it out to center as Marcel Dion was checked by Osling. Gradin moving in front of the net. Got the puck over to Lundberg, but he couldn't get a shot away, and here comes Dion. Dion for Canada, going in with Hickey. Passes in front. Hickey shot. He scores! Hickey rolls it in. And it's 7-5 for Team Canada as Hickey scores his third goal of the game.
And what a play Marcel Dion made. Marcel Dion was very tired. It was the end of the shift. You see him in the last man coming back. And he hasn't got too much legs to make his own play here over the blue line. He makes the little stop, looks, shovels it through to Hickey. Actually, Hickey doesn't get good wood on it. Astor went down expecting the quick shot. And when Hickey didn't get all the wood that he wanted on it, it seemed to handcuff him. Here it comes through. Hickey gets the puck, takes a little jump over his stick as he shoots. You see Aston go down, trying to glove the puck, takes a little hop over his glove into the lower corner. But Dion was dead tired at the end of that shift. He was coming back, giving everything he had. He couldn't get quite back when the puck came back to him, but he didn't have enough left to go around, but he made the nice play to Hickey.
And Hickey scores his third goal of the game at 14:46 of the third period. Canada 7 and Sweden 5. McMillan scoops the puck into the Swedish zone. Astrom comes away out of the net and holds it for a face-off. And we have 5 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in this game. And coming up immediately following the game, we go live to the other side of the world for the 104th running of the Kentucky Derby from Churchill Downs. That's coming up on the full CTV network. Unger now gets set for the face-off. And moving in there before the puck was dropped was Roland Eriksson, number 12 of Sweden. Monday we have the telecast between Canada and the Soviet Union on the full CTV network. Earlier today, Czechoslovakia defeated the Soviet Union 6-4. Czechoslovakia in sole possession of first place at this point. Unger has the puck, fires it off the board. Going after it was Mats Ahlberg. He couldn't get possession. And now McMillan steals it in front, but he was checked by Waltin. Into the corner, McMillan fighting for it. Waltin watching him, gets the puck back. Brazar clears it out now on the far side to Lundholm, and he was stopped. Inside his own blue line, Brazar tries to get it out. Unger takes the puck. He was stopped by Waltine, and now McMillan will try, breaking back to Unger. His drive, and that goes wide, hits the glass. Lazar trying to get it out. Unger checked him. Gary Unger in the corner for Canada. Swinging around, gets it back to the blue line. Picard shot, and Astrom stops that. And we have exactly 4 minutes remaining in the game. And Canada leads 7-5. Unger in the corner. Checked by Solman. Puck rolls over to Rolf Edberg. Paymont checks him. And the loose puck comes in front. And Sweden breaks out. On the left side, taking the pass is Eriksson. Eriksson drops it back to Waltine in front. And the shot goes wide. Picard checks his man. And coming back now for Canada is Dennis Marouk. Marouk at center. Was stopped there by Stig Solman. And it rolls to Waltine. Ahead now to number 15. That's Rolf Edberg. Into the corner now for Eriksson. And he just cleared it around the net as Don Lever is bumped. Hampton. Off the boards to Paymont. He's checked. Canada leading by a score of 7-5. And we played 16 minutes and 55 seconds in the third period. And as time ticks away, we're into the final 3 minutes now. There's a shot that goes wide. Going back for it is Lars Lindgren. Lindgren, number 28 for Sweden. Sweden at one point in the second period led 4-1, but Canada now has a 2-goal lead, 7-5, but over the line goes Anderson. Can't get a shot away. Takes it into the corner. Anderson then is checked, and Picard slaps it off the boards. Marcel Dion is out there now with Hickey. Gets it over to Konovo. Konovo stops. Long pass over for Hickey, and it was deflected away from him out to center. And Brad Maxwell has it for Canada. Maxwell to Dion. Over the line to Hickey, and it's offside. This is the World Hockey Championship on CTV.
Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. Let it take you down any road you've ever wanted to travel. Consider its slim new style, its spacious interior. The more you drive Supreme, the more you'll come to appreciate its improved fuel economy. Let that Supreme feeling move you. You'll discover we build Cutlass Supreme for the road and the spirit. Can we build one for you?
Puck goes back to Maxwell at his own blue line. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the game. Canada 7 and Sweden 5. Puck goes around to the far side to Leonard Norberg. Norberg just let it go, and it goes right back into the Canadian zone. And icing a game with 2 minutes and 1 second left. Number 9, Paymont, has scored 3 goals in the hockey championships. He was a 31-goal scorer this year with Colorado. Was tied for 9th in overall scoring in the National Hockey League. Face off to Astrom's right. Dennis Marouk won the draw. But Lever, along with Gradin, stepped into the circle before the puck was dropped.
Marouk out there for Sharpley, who's in the box serving that misconduct.
And from the face-off, the puck rolls into the corner. We're into the final 2 minutes now of the third period. Canada 7 and Sweden 5. Paymont into the corner to Dennis Marouk. Marouk, number 21, got it back to Shan, but he couldn't keep it in. And Pat Ribble. He's knocked against the board. Sweden trying to get a goal here in the late stages. Paymont has the puck, shoots it in over the line. Osling tried to set it ahead there for Gradin. He was checked. Paymont comes back into the corner after it. And swinging out is Norberg. Oh, and he took a heavy jolt from Lever. Norberg goes after it again. Backhands it to Osling. Osling in front of his own goal, out to center. Knocked down, but carrying on is Lundberg, number 18, over the Canadian line. His shot, and it's called offside at the Canadian line with 1 minute and 6 seconds left. A reminder, following this game, we go to the 104th running of the Kentucky Derby from Churchill Downs with Howard Cosell and Jim McKay. The old Kentucky home of the first jewel in the American Triple Crown Classic for 3-year-old thoroughbreds. Canada 7 and Sweden 5. Hickey has scored 3 goals in this game for Canada. Marouf, or rather McMillan, has it at center. A lead pass on the left side. Murphy goes into the corner, but Astrom got there first. And we have 54 seconds left now. Hampton has it at center ice. McMillan brings it back in with Gary Younger. Checked by Waltine. Into the corner. Lost the puck, then goes after it. McMillan in behind the net. Gets it again. A shot. And he's stopped by Astrom as he made a key save.
Well, Murphy playing very, very well with McMillan. McMillan holding onto that puck, moving from behind. Here we see him breaking over the line, driving in deep, trying to come to the net, really gets hooked, stays with that puck, doesn't come off it. You see Murphy move behind the net. McMillan shovels it in. Murphy gives it right back to him. The quick shot. Good save by Aston, but Murphy and McMillan. McMillan not throwing that puck away, keeping possession. Here he is again, moving in front, back to Murphy. Murphy out front again. Aston coming up, making a sliding save.
And we're into the final 30 seconds now of the game. Canada 7 and Sweden 5. Unger fires it around the boards to Murphy. Murphy watched there by Salming. Salming takes the puck. Puck goes loose. Unger's fighting for possession. Got away from him. Salming then tries to get it as they scramble for possession with 16 seconds left. And a reminder, Monday will bring you the game between Canada and the Soviet Union. Monday on the full CTV network. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and with 1 second showing on the clock, the whistle goes and we have a face-off in the Swedish zone. Coming up, the 104th running of the Kentucky Derby from Churchill Downs. Just time for the face-off here, and the penalty handed out by referee Pierce. And it's to Canada, Gary Younger.
Well, that was a very, very cheap penalty, I can tell you that. Gary Younger broke his stick, threw his stick, and actually what they do here in Europe is that they take it over to the penalty box and put it in as they do at home. And referee Pierce gave him the penalty, another 10-minute misconduct for throwing his stick. But the stick was broken, and he threw it in the direction of the box and is given the misconduct penalty. With 1 second remaining, we're not going to win the Fair Play Cup.
Well, Czechoslovakia in first place. They've won 6 and lost none. And the Soviet Union with 5 wins and 1 loss. They have 10 points. Canada with a victory here will move into a third-place tie with Sweden with 8 points. And on Monday on the full CTV network, Canada and the Soviet Union. That shot by Picard as the horn goes to end the game, and the Canadians are off the bench to congratulate goaltender Dennis Herron in a very exciting moment. Another one carried on CTV, and the Canadians off the bench quickly, and they come up with a big victory here, and many of the Canadian supporters, and they have the flags and many excited here in Prague, Czechoslovakia. Another capacity crowd as Canada pulled away after Sweden got a 4-1 lead. And now our national anthem. it, Canada winning 7-5. This is the World Hockey Championship on CTV.
Hai finito prepararmi quell'ordine? Hanno voluto altre 4 persone. Oh, mi devi cambiare, vogliono 3 spaghetti. Ancora, nuovamente, non possibile mai, cambio sempre idea.
If you could take a peek into the kitchen of your favorite restaurant, chances are you'd discover just why it is your favorite restaurant. You'd probably find that the chef insists on nothing but the finest, fresh, natural ingredients, because he knows that you'll know and appreciate the extra care and good taste. The Carlsberg Brewmasters feel this way about making beer. They believe there is no substitute for the best natural ingredients. And really, that's what helps give Carlsberg its good, fresh, natural taste. You could say Carlsberg believes in brewing what comes naturally.
Cheers.
Well, a very big return for Team Canada as they came back to knock off Sweden 7-5. And I'll tell you why it was so big. They just had to have this victory in order to keep themselves in the battle for medal presentation. As a result of the games that took place tonight, it means that the Russians are in second spot with 10, Czechoslovakia leads with 12, and now Canada and Sweden are tied with 8 points apiece. So Canada has an excellent shot at a bronze, and if they could upset either Czechoslovakia or Russia, they could wind up with a silver medal. And a gold is certainly not of the realm of possibility either. So Canada is still very much in it. The next game is going to be Russia on Monday. And this is World Hockey Championship on CTV.
I've been driving for Carling O'Keefe now for the last 6 years. Driving a truck doesn't make me an expert on beer, but being around Carling O'Keefe sure has taught me a lot. For instance, this load I'm hauling is the result of a lot of good things. Take the ingredients that go into it. Carling O'Keefe try to buy the best hops, malt, and barley available. Then, too, there are the people who brew our beer. They're proud of their work. When it comes to brewmasters, guys like Bob are tops. Their word is it. No compromises, no shortcuts. Good beer takes time and attention. They make sure it gets both, and plenty of it. Me, I just make sure that whatever brand of Carling O'Keefe beer you buy, it gets to you fresh. It all comes down to one thing. The best to you from the people at Carling O'Keefe.
Well, our final scores on a very big night of international hockey. It was Czechoslovakia defeating the Soviet Union 6-4. It was Canada defeating Sweden 7-5. Pat Hickey getting 3 goals, a hat trick, 2 of them coming in the second period. Marcel Dion playing a very strong game. Now, on behalf of our sponsors,